This is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. Welcome, welcome. Fat Pig, Airplane Willie, the first one to chat, always. Thank you, gentlemen. What's up, what's up? How's it going? We are getting started here in a minute. What the hell did I even put on the thumbnail? What I put on the thumbnail? Andrew Tate. New angles of the Trump assassination dropping daily. There's always some new angle every week, bare minimum. Once a week, we get a new video going around. What's up? What's up? I love that intro. I love the little intro I made. It's good shit. Dark Match Steve here. Hope everybody's feeling a little slutty. Is that too much to ask? Can I ask you guys to get slutty with me? Who wants to get slutty with Steve? All right, so turn that fucking song off. We'll have a new one next week. And I'll probably start making some new tracks. I got like around 10 or something, 10 royalty-free tracks. But, yeah, making my own royalty-free tracks, all that shit. I'm a fucking, god damn, I'm a savant. What do they say? Idiot savant. I'm a retarded savant. A retard savant. There you go. Dark Match Steve up in the place. What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Fucking yeah, we got a few things to go through here. I want to go over this. There's a few viral clips coming out of this Andrew Tate debate with Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan has actually been having some really good debates on his channel. Um, Airplane Willie. How long does it take to make a parody song? What about using your own work to support your cause and not someone else's? Um, well, yeah, the parody songs, it depends. Sometimes they just come right to me. I'm gonna raise my chair up a little. Oh, sometimes parody songs come right to me and I can jam one out really quick. Sometimes it takes a while. There's a couple of them. I'd have to think about it because I don't know off the top of my head. But like I did Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog, and I made it Hunger Spike, Temple of the Todd, about Bubba being hungry. That song, Bubba's hungry. That song, I had the idea for months and months. There's a few others that are like that I just sat on. They're not time sensitive. It's not like Bubba's gonna. I mean, I'm not being mean here, but he's it's his nature to like to eat. So it's not like if I wait a few months on making a song about Bubba being hungry, it's not like it's gonna lose the significance or something with a little time. Sometimes there's time sensitive shit. Like there was I hate to say it, but there was a couple Biden songs that I still had left to do. And I could do one of them, but that's the thing. Sometimes it's not as good as if I can't get the parody out in news moves so fast. So it's like if I can't get the parody done in a day or something, at least within the week of whatever the fuck happened, it's like it just passes right on by. It's fucked up how quick time is moving now, and fucking the way we process current events, um, kind of complicated. Yeah. So, well, message me and let me know, and don't spill it on here because you never know who's spying on me for just keeping track of what I'm doing. But yeah, send it to me. Whatever. Thuggish, thuggish, ruggish. What's up, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. What's up? What's up? Um, how's it going? Is this your first time seeing me live? Good shit, bod. What? What's up, Wesley Smith? Um, what's up, guys? How's it going? Thanks for coming and hanging. We're gonna go over the Andrew Tate debate and some other shit on Twitter, just random shit. Um, I had planned on going over this Tate debate, and I just knew. I said it yesterday. You can go back to the show yesterday. I said it. I'll be just doing the Tate debate unless some breaking news happens. And here we go. New angle on the Trump assassination attempt. We'll get to that first, I guess, and then we'll go through some of the Tate stuff, and I'll talk about my opinion on Andrew Tate. Look at me with buttons undone. What kind of little slut what do y'all take me for? Don't let me sit there with my shirt undone. Fuck. Y'all are thirsty. No one was gonna say anything. um Yeah, I haven't really talked about Andrew Tate before. And I had planned to do a video about Andrew Tate before I started live stuff, and I never got to it. But um, yeah, man, my opinion on Tate, it's complicated. I mean, I won't get into the whole thing right now. We'll go to the assassination thing first because that's like breaking news. The Tate debate was like yesterday. But anyway, so let me get to let me pull up this video. Uh, come on. Yeah, so this dropped on Twitter, what, a few hours ago? 3:10. So, yeah, just a few hours ago. Um, share screen. We'll get right to it here. So this is interesting, and interestingly enough, this is the officer's badge cam, the cop that looked over the roof. He got hoisted up by another officer and sort of peeked over the roof and then dropped back down. This is his badge cam, which is pretty fucking nuts. I mean, I kind of didn't expect half of this to come out. I thought it was going to be, like pulling teeth getting badge cam footage and but here we are. It's released. Let me full screen this. What is my what's my display look like? Okay. Let me put my stupid little face in here. Okay. Let me full screen this so we can watch it. There's no audio for a little bit. So this isn't me fucking this up with the audio turned down. For some reason it's this shit is well, I guess that's kind of I didn't even think about it till now. There may be I don't know if there's some technicality with the way that the badge cam works where if that there's supposed to be audio cut out, but it is kind of weird that this is redacted. Who knows if there could be so I didn't even think about that. There could be something significant being said right here. So this is how it starts. So we'll go from the beginning here. This is they're going right in between the two buildings. So there was the building the shooter was supposedly on was that the glass manufacturing building that was like closest to Trump, in those distant buildings. Then there's a little gap and then more buildings with similar rooftops. So the cops are going in between those two buildings in that little gap area. And they're obviously, so they have to, they're getting notice of this guy on some threat on the roof, and they're going to check. So why again? Why didn't they have Trump taken off the stage? If they're looking back there, if there's even someone that's suspicious that makes them want to go back and check, why isn't Trump already in some kind of safety position? So yeah, he just signaled to him, hoist me up there. So yeah, he's peeking over right now, and I tried to pause this in different ways. You can never see the shooter. The shooter is on this, if you can see the mouse, on this building here is where the shooter is, and the badge cam never goes up enough. Trust me, I've paused this 100 fucking times. You can't get a glimpse of anything there. Oh wait, let me see. Damn it. Yeah, you can't see him. So he's right. He's like the shooter is supposed to be right by where the cop is coming up, but he's on the other rooftop. The cop is getting on this little rooftop that's a little bit shorter. If you see from the beginning, it's a shorter, it's like slightly down there. So when he peeks up, he says he sees the shooter, and the shooter's like right there, but he's up like however many 10 feet or so, something like that. So yeah, this is the guy that everybody heard about. He saw the shooter, and the shooter aimed at him. We'll wait when the audio kicks in. We can analyze what the fuck they're talking about and stuff. Airplane Willie, thank you. Edging where the thank you. I'm glad I could assist. All right, let's get back to this. He gets up here. You can't see shit. And I was just working on a roof with a metal roof like this. I was painting some of that silver shit on a roof today, sweating my balls off. So this is actually giving me flashbacks a little bit. This is triggering. So the shooter's supposed to be up here. You can see my mouse here to the left. He's supposed to be up there, and he says he gets a glimpse of him. You can see the bag. He describes the guy, long hair with glasses, and he said he has a rifle. So yeah, you never. Let me see if I can back it up a little bit. Let's see. You can never see anything. I've tried, not even on my laptop, just my phone, but I'm pretty sure you can't. No. But anyway, this happens. Look how much running. Just take into account. Let's see the timestamp. Hold on a second. When he drops, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be too crazy with the stop and start here. But look, let's see what time he actually drops down from the building. He's up there. Oh, I see the shooter. I dropped down, and that's at 28 seconds. So let's see for sure. There's debate of they're going up there and checking for this guy because they're saying that the people in the crowd and everybody's like, oh, there's a guy up there. I think he has a rifle. Yeah, he's up there laying down, crawling, bear crawling, all this shit. So the cops are like, well, we gotta go verify. He peeks up there and it's not. He doesn't even have his gun out or anything. So they're going to check on it to verify. So you could say, maybe they don't want to take Trump off the stage yet because the officer with his own eyes close up enough to verify that this guy has a rifle and he's a threat, a real threat. For that while they haven't verified it, but right now at 28 seconds they have verified it. So let's see. I mean, I think later when the audio kicks in, you can hear that Trump is still on stage for a while. I mean, he should be on his radio. Get him off right now. Take him off of there. Again, all this audio redacted suspiciously. Oh, well, we're gonna, so I have, Thuggish. I'm not sure about that. I haven't kept that much track about all this shit, and I will, I'll kind of explain why later, but I'm going to try pausing this at the water tower's in here. And I swear when I was watching this, I haven't watched this on my laptop yet, but I swore when I was watching on my phone that you could kind of see something up there, but it's such terrible quality. It's a fucking badge cam, but it looks, when I was looking on my phone, it kind of looks like a dark spot kind of shows up. You can see it more at some moments, and then you can't at all. You can barely see it. It looks a little bit darker on the right side of this nipple at the top of the tower. Now that could be, I mean, if you're looking at the shadows here, the sun is going this way. Maybe it could be shadow, but let's just keep playing here. Yeah, I think it may have just been, well, I don't know. Yeah, it looks, even right now, you can see, I mean, does that not, anybody in chat, does that not kind of look like a dark spot next to the very, the tip of the water tower? No audio yet. People are roasting this cop. It takes him a minute to get his fucking, so we're already over a minute. 20, I forget what, I'm too baked. I don't remember the timestamp I said. It was 20 some seconds. So we're already a minute out, and I'm pretty sure you can still hear Trump and the crowd when the audio kicks in here in a second. It takes this guy a while to get a magazine in there. You really, if you better know how to pop that fucking magazine in there if you're going to carry one. Not yet. Still working on the magazine. Hey, still working on the magazine there for a few seconds. I mean, I don't want to be too critical. I know the adrenaline is rushing and whatever, but bro, You need to step your game up with that shit. If you're going to carry that shit, you need to know how to pop that bitch in there and fucking put around in the chamber and be ready to fucking rock. Be ready to take this guy's head off. No, Airplane Willie. Yeah, that's the thing. I saw another. That's why I was trying really hard to see in this video, because in another video I saw on Twitter, you could see some dark spot moving on the tower. That's I don't think that's even. I really saw it in that video clearly, unless that was edited. But yeah, earlier looking at this on my phone, it surely did look like there was a dark spot up there. Let's play this all the way through, just so I don't feel like I'm fucking annoying anybody by not playing the whole thing yet, and then we'll go to different parts and talk about it. But if you listen, I think I got the volume all the way up here. It sounds like you can hear the audience and Trump kind of barely talking in the distance. So we're already like a minute and a half, over a minute and a half in, and they haven't got Trump's orange ass off that stage. What the fuck?
This close, bro. Dude, he turned around on me. He's straight up.
Okay, we have 2 civilians attending to him.
I don't know. Who's got eyes on him?
Back up.
All right, we'll stop and start to look at this tower later. Let's get through the video. I'm just making sure we see it.
Seriously, he was right where you picked me up, bro. He was on that left side.
Next police shop. I mean, police shop. A lady's been shot in the stairs, the floor stairs. I need an ambulance for the back of the barn.
Okay, so the guy, I may have to actually look up what the timestamps are supposed to be, because the guy's down already. They're asking for, you can hear on the radio, they're asking for ambulances and stuff. So all of that, I just figured this out. All of the redacted shit is where you can hear the gunshots. Now that's kind of suspicious, because if there is a difference in distance of certain shooters, you would be able to, I think the majority of the audio is like closer to the stage, and this back here behind this building would give us a different, like say if someone is shooting from the water tower and from the top of this building, or a different spot, multiple shooters, 2 or more, then this would be another, point of reference to get a gauge of, because if all of the shooters, if all of them were a similar distance from the stage, and most of the audio we're hearing is from near the stage, then you wouldn't be able to figure out the distances or the differences that well. But this is a different perspective here. All that audio in the beginning is redacted. So we're not Trump, I guess, according to when this guy fell, I guess he really wasn't on the stage all that long. But we don't really know by, I want to say when the audio kicks in is probably when the shooter was down, because after all the gunshots are done, they let the audio kick back in. So we'll go back and see what timestamp that is.
Get them out of here! Get them out! Yo, Blasco. Yo, you about to hop up. He's laying down. He's on our next building over. Right after the gap. He's got glasses, long hair.
I got to pack a bowl while we watch this, okay? Y'all watch the video. I'm gonna do my thing here.
Need a ladder. She's gonna hole. Yo, Mike, I climbed the wall and I put my head right in front of him, bro. He's got a book bag. He's got mag AR laying down. Yeah, he's laying down, burned out, book bag next to him. Give me a hard line.
Most sections over here. Most sections over here. That's why I got Collins up there. All the way around.
But watch out, because he can come right down on you over there. Oh, this is going to drop. Hold. Keep eyes on. Give me a ladder. Go! Eyes up!
Pull on the ambulance to the stands.
Keep eyes up! Eyes up! This building. He was on top of this building. The left one. I jumped up.
Go by the yellow crane. This is a very serious.
Left side, the first one.
Serious.
That one. Laying down.
Okay, so if you just heard, for sure the shooter's down already because they're calling for medics over the radio, and saying it's very serious and what. So that the fireman guy is for sure dead there, and so the shooting has to be over by now. Like I said, I think when the audio kicks in, that's when the shooting was done. Like all the gunshots were done, so they kicked the audio back in, and that I think that's a little suspicious. Why is that redacted? I would just I said at the beginning of this, like, wow, I'm surprised. Like, we didn't have to. I mean, this came out pretty soon. We didn't have to wait 10 years and do a Freedom of Information request or whatever. But looks like we'll have to for the full version if we want the unredacted audio.
There's a gap in between you and there.
Get an ambulance to the VIP tent.
Did you see him? Do you hear them yelling? Let me see your hands. They're yelling at a fucking corpse up there. Let me see your hands. The guys, there's a trail of blood leading to the edge of the building, and they're like, let me see your hands. Hold up.
Get an ambulance to the VIP tent.
Let me see your hands.
Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand.
Yeah.
We have a unit on the roof.
Affirmative.
Give me some tall.
Yo, Tess, you got me up once, bro. Yo, Tess, you got me up once. Give me up again. One more. Ready? Yep.
All right, ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Here we go. Dead body. It's blurred out. It's blurred out. It's censored. Look at the trail of blood. And they were yelling, let me see your hands. I mean, okay. All right, that's it. That's the new footage. You guys can go analyze it yourselves. That we're gonna go back here and look at the water tower for a minute. Let me see, because like I said, I kind of wanted to see how long. So when did he come down? 20 seconds, 22 or something, right? 28. Okay. Yeah, 28 seconds he's down. And like I said, the gunshots are clearly redacted, and I wondered that. I thought it was because I was watching it on my fucking cell phone. I wondered, like, why can't I hear the gunshots? I can't hear any of it. And that must have been. I don't know why I thought I could hear the crowd. Maybe that's traffic or something that's nearby. It sounded like a sound in the near the beginning when the audio cuts in. But yeah, all the gunshots are redacted. So, I mean, if you just consider, we said 28 seconds. So when the audio kicks back in, that should be when the shooter's down and the gunshots have stopped. You can't see him up here. I mean, he's laying down the whole time, I guess. So shouldn't expect to. So yeah, and if y'all remember, you could see there's like video where you can see these cops running around out here, running back and forth. And I think this is around when the gunshots start, right here, when that cop is running at the front of the building. In the first footage that came out, where you can see the building and cops running around. They're like running, and then the gunshots start. So that's right around here is when Trump is getting shot at. So it's about a minute. It's almost a minute, like 45 seconds. What I say, 20? Yeah, 30. Yeah. So the shooter's down right now for sure. You guys can hear the audio, right, of this video? It's not too low. I don't know if this is Yeah, I mean, again, we don't want to be too critical, but you don't want to be struggling that hard with a fucking magazine. Learn to pop that shit in there and get around in the chamber.
This close, bro. Do we turn?
All right, let's look. Yeah, that looks like a dark spot on this other side of this of the water tower right now. Let me see.
Turn around on me. He's straight up.
Okay, we have 2 civilians attending to him.
Can I zoom in here? I gotta learn how to zoom on a fucking video. I could copy this and put it in iMovie, and I know how to zoom there, but
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Who's got eyes on him?
See right there? It looks darker on the other side of the tip of the tower there. For sure, I don't think that that's shadow. I don't know.
Back up.
Ooh, hold on a second. Let's slow the speed down. Did I click it? God, okay, yeah.
Seriously, he was right where you picked me up, bro. He was on that left side.
It sounds like what's that movie with when Will Ferrell gets hit with the fucking dart gun, the elephant dart? You got a fucking dart in your neck. See, look, okay. I don't know. This could be some kind of a visual anomaly, illusion, or something because of like when there's sometimes the camera will pick light up differently depending on how, if it's something in the distance and there's something closer that's darker, and it'll make this look a lot brighter. And then when the thing in the front of the camera shifts slightly, it'll cause the light to change in the background when it's really not the light changing. It's just the way the camera's picking it. I don't know shit about cameras, but I know enough from taking video and stuff that happens. Like if the sun is hitting something really hard and you're focused on something darker in the front, the thing in the back, you'll get glare and it'll look brighter. But it looks like right here at 2 minutes and 45 seconds, this dark thing just pops up. You can see if you slow this down, I got it at half speed. Let me back this up. Hold on. You can see the top of the tower, and then the little dot just pops out.
Seriously, he was right
Not there.
where you picked me up, bro. He was on that left side.
See how you cannot see the dot right now? It looks, I think that might just be an anomaly from the camera, but it pops right in. See that? Did you guys catch that? It really pops right there, like someone popped from behind the fucking back of this thing. Hold on.
Yes, he was right where you picked me up, bro. He was on that left side.
No dot. There's no dot up there. Still no dot. We're at 2:45 and a quarter. And then it's back. You guys see that? Am I fucking I'm not retarded, am I? Consistent from different angles. Well, yeah, dude. So those there was a couple videos, at least one that I remember that you can clearly see, but it's from a different angle. So this guy, where he's standing, would get less of a view of whatever's up there than the camera angle from back at the stage, because the stage is like the stage is almost like way back in line with this parking spot. So if you go way back, that will let you see around the other side of the water tower easier. But right there, dude, Go, y'all fucking pull this up on your own laptop, slow it down. You just use this little settings deal, go to playback speed, slow it down, and it's around 245. You can see right when the tower comes into view from behind his arm, there's no dot up there. There's no dark spot. And then right at almost 246, it just pops up.
Pick me up, bro. He was on that left side.
No dot. No dot. No dot. Dot. Yeah, it's kind of popping in and out. So I don't know if this is the camera's having trouble picking it up, like I said, because of how his arm's moving and the sun's hitting this. Either way, this is crazy footage. Sorry, I don't the audio my mic doesn't come in as well when the videos are playing. I watched a segment. I was gonna get clips from some of my live stuff, and I was like, God damn, I didn't realize my fucking mic cuts out that bad when there's other audio playing. But yeah, so this I was more interested in playing this video on my laptop for the show here to see about this dot on the tower. But I'm at least now I know I am seeing a dark spot on my phone. I couldn't see shit. It wasn't barely a pixel. But here you can tell that there is a dark spot, whether that's shadow or another shooter or someone just watching from up there. Who the fuck knows? But it definitely looks like a person in that other angle, the earlier angle that came out where you can see the water tower in the background, and the spot moves around the time when the shooting starts. But yeah, I thought the dot was going to be the most interesting thing with this video, but to me, from reviewing this here, I just figured out that the fucking gunshots are redacted. So like I said, that gives us, it leaves us yearning for something if you want the truth here. Like I said, I mean, most of the camera angles are, the audio, the sources of audio, most of them are near the stage where Trump is at. So this would be a good source of audio to have to test, to be able to kind of hear if the distances from the shots are consistent with what the mainstream story is. But of course, we don't have that. I guess we got to do a Freedom of Information request, or if the audio can't just conveniently be missing, right? We know that that's not true, correct? Everybody agree with me there? Like, obviously, the audio didn't happen to just cut out for all the important part when the shooter is shooting and what they're saying on their radios, and it just cuts back in after the guy's dead. We all know that that's just not luck for them. It's redacted. So, again, go look this up yourself. Other people probably know how to fucking, fuck with video and zoom in and slow down better and analyze it better, or put it through something where it'll catch, the slightest difference with the dot or something. I don't know. But yeah, let's move on to some of the Tate stuff. Let me see. Oh, I don't know. I guess I'll hit this. Let's see. DC Drano. Bubba the Love Spun. Yeah, so Trump spoke in. What is this? Okay. Trump spoke in Florida today. I didn't know about this happening. I think that it was supposed to be a surprise thing. We might look at this Kamala deal real quick. But yeah, Trump has been talking about a few things. Marijuana legalization. And dude, I mean, this could just be a desperate thing that he's like, man, I really want to win. And I think that'll get some people's attention and I'll get some support doing this. I said this and I felt crazy. And I maybe someday I'll try to go back, or it'll pop up in my history on Facebook or something. I predicted that Donald Trump would fully legalize, federally fully legalize cannabis. I predicted it because I said to myself, this is a businessman, and it's clear as day the money that can be made through the sale of marijuana, that it's not worse than alcohol, arguably better. At least if you just go by the way that people interact with it. I mean, there's probably some really medically beneficial amount of alcohol to drink, maybe every day or a couple times a week or something. But for sure, there's benefits to cannabis. There's a few other clips. No tax on tips. Let's hear what he has to say on this one.
In a little more liberal way than people thought.
Well, as we legalize it, I start to agree a lot more because, you know, it's being legalized all over the country. Florida has something coming up. I'll be making a statement about that fairly soon.
Woo!
But as we legalize it throughout the country, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's awfully hard to have people all over the jails that are in jail right now for something that's legal. So I think, obviously, there's a lot of sentiment to doing that.
Well, I'm going to announce that. I'm going to actually have a press conference on that at some point in the near future, so I don't want to tell you now. But Florida does have a vote coming up on that, and I think probably the vote will go in a little more liberal way than people thought. But I'll be announcing that at the appropriate time.
So what, is he going to get all the people out of jail that Kamala locked up for weed? It is so crazy that Kamala can't just admit that she was wrong about cannabis and she didn't already offer to do this. That is crazy to me. Is it that hard to swallow your pride and be like, oh yeah, I was a prosecutor and I threw a bunch of people in jail for drugs, which is really, I mean, you should be free to do whatever you want with your body. I'm a freedom of choice, my body, my choice kind of bitch. And, you know, but for some reason I saw differently on cannabis and I threw people in jail, and I want to take that back. I want to undo the wrongs that I've done. And, I want to tweet about listening to whatever. And I don't fucking know. Didn't she pretend like she hung out with potheads or smoked once or something? I don't know. She's fake black. She's just a phony, nasty bitch to me. But she could have just swallowed her pride and been like, I'm going to legalize cannabis, guys. You know, I saw that what I did was wrong. I locked all these people up for cannabis, and we gonna let them out, girl. I do a good Kamala laugh. I know. Thank you. Yeah, DC Drano, shout out. Yeah, fucking, yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I smoke a lot less than I used to. I'm a little less excited than I would have been had this happen 8 years ago. I would have been really excited, but it's still cool. And getting freedoms back, which is rare. That's cool. A freedom to do whatever the fuck you want with your body. Like it's a good idea to ruin someone's life because they want to smoke something. It's amazing that was ever the operating system for this country, and still is.
So waiters, waitresses, caddies, they're going to destroy.
No tax on tips. Here we go.
They're going to destroy Social Security. I am going to leave Social Security. I'm not raising the years. I'm not raising the age. I will be saving Social Security, and I'm going to work it out that there's no tax on Social Security for seniors. I'm also doing no tax on tips. No tax on tips. So waiters, waitresses, caddies, people that drive cars, people that get tips who have been harassed by this government, we're going to have no tax on tips. That's a big thing. They're going to destroy Social Security.
Who's excited about that? Any working people? Kamala wants to actually take your tips, and then Tim Walz is going to use your tip money to pay for tampons for little boys. I don't know why Tim Walls thinks that little boys' buttholes are bleeding and they need tampons. I don't know why he's so focused on little boys' butts. It's weird to me personally, but that's what he's doing with your tip money. If they get elected, they're going to buy tampons with it and pay for illegals, fucking driver's licenses and abortions and stuff.
The tough.
What is this? I opened it too quick. Afghanistan, July 4th. What is this? Oh, guns. So I went over this on one of my past shows. It might have been last week. I forget, but there's a bunch of videos of Kamala from when was it? Yeah, I guess 4 years ago, before Biden was nominated as the Democrat, but a presidential candidate. Kamala was campaigning on taking your guns. She was saying she wants to ban assault weapons and the import of assault weapons and have universal background checks. We went over all this shit. I mean, I don't know if I don't want to waste time and have people, see the same thing twice or whatever. And some people are arguing that, oh, she didn't mean that. Like that fucking, that guy Destiny. I like Destiny. I know some of the people in my chat hate him, but I followed him a long time. And this is one of his, not so good moments when he was debating recently with Witsit Gets It. It was, you can check this debate out. I don't think I'll bring it up to review it ever, but it's Austin Witsit, who his name online is Witsit Gets It. He was debating Destiny on the insurrection or something. I don't know. And that guy's a flat earther too, by the way. Witsit Gets It. But they debated on the channel Modern Day Debates, and Destiny, they were straight up pulling up, Witsit was pulling up footage of Kamala saying, yeah, I want to ban assault weapons and the import of assault weapons. And Destiny was like, oh, she's just talking about banning the import. And it's like, no, she said it multiple times. She wants to ban assault weapons. So that means if you look up the definition, it means semi-automatic firearms, which is, we discussed this I didn't look up the number, but it's the majority of the firearms people own are semi-automatic. 90 some percent of the rifles people own are probably, if the AR-15 is as popular as it seems to be, 90 some percent of the rifles people have are semi-automatic. And the majority of the pistols for sure too. Revolvers don't count. But if there's only revolvers left, then there's going to be some fucking false flag shooting with a revolver, and they'll say, "Look, we got to get rid of these two. They have like 6 rounds you can shoot. It's terrible. That means 6 people can die every minute." They'll just pull the same shit. So anyway, let's get to this clip of Trump who banned bump stocks. Hey, look, if you're pro Second Amendment, you're kind of fucked across the board. It feels like a slap in the face that he banned bump stocks, even though I guess the Supreme Court blocked or reversed that or something.
Wants to take away everyone's gun. If you take away guns, can't do it because people need the guns for protection. Now, entertainment, they want it, hunting, they want, different things, but they need weapons for protection in this country. People live out in the woods and they're not going to have a gun. If you look at some countries, I don't want to get them in trouble, but some countries have actually gone the opposite way. They had very strong gun laws, and now they have gone the opposite way, where they allowed people to have guns, where in one case they encouraged people to go out and get guns, and crime is down 29%. And remember this, what is the toughest gun law in the United States? Chicago. On July 4th,
he means the state with the toughest gun laws, I guess, or the city.
117 people were shot and 17 died. The toughest gun laws in the United States are in the city of Chicago. You know that. They had 117 people shot. Afghanistan does not have that.
That's crazy. What did he say at the beginning? Something. Oh well, yeah. He made a good point, and this is there's probably plenty left wing people that understand this too, but most of the time, like you go back and look at when Biden talked about, and I think even maybe Kamala, but for sure I can remember Biden's old whispery voice where he says, "Oh yeah, no, I appreciate the Second Amendment. I know people like to hunt and do target practice or something." The Democrats always love to really beat around the bush and pretend that it's like, "Oh yeah, I know. Like some people like to hunt." And you like to go to the range. Like, I get it. I get the Second Amendment. I get that people like to hunt. I truly do. But that's like not, that's hardly the concern. It's such a small percentage of people that hunt these days. We need it, as Trump said, we need it to protect ourselves, especially in Democrat run cities. Okay. But no, it's a valid point that's often overlooked and probably purposely left out when anytime a Democrat talks about it. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I just went common sense gun reform. I'm not anti Second Amendment. Like I love the Second Amendment. I had an uncle that used to hunt, and so I get it. Like he hunts, and I get the Second Amendment. Like you fucking don't. We need it to protect ourselves from you fucking lunatics. Other crazy people. That's the problem. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get to the debate real quick. I'll probably play that shit on double speed so we can get through this at a decent time. Fuck that Kamala clip. They asked her about stolen valor from her VP, Tim Walz, stolen valor. He's a fake soldier that likes to hand tampons out to little boys. So that's our next vice president, guys. Someone in my chat yesterday was like, they already won. It's our next vice president, the guy that is a fake soldier and hands out tampons and, all the other fucking shit. I can't remember something about abortion stuff. And I don't know. Anyway, fucking let's see here. I'll pull up this debate so we can get through it. Oh. It's so funny on my I don't have the screen share pulled up yet, but my history on YouTube, it's so funny. Last night I was watching I was watching parts from this where Trump got into the argument with those black reporters, and he was like talking about Kamala used to be Indian, and now she's a black woman. She turned black. He's doing all that shit. I started this video and then I fucking passed out in my bed, and the YouTube was on autoplay and just kept playing fucking Trump. Dude, I was sleeping with Trump rally videos playing in the background like it's some fucking MK Ultra shit. Like I was getting fucking hypnotized or something. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning with Trump talking on my laptop. I was like, what the fuck is going on? All right. Hold on, we got an ad here. Dark Match Steve, he loves to show what ads I get to see what YouTube's advertising department, they tell these companies like, "Oh yeah, you guys, we have targeted ads. We use the AI technology and algorithms so that you get to your audience, people that already like your products. It's genius, you guys." And then they give me ads for shit, for stupid shit I will never buy. I've never bought anything from a YouTube ad. They should just not, I should be on the premium version, the ad-free version, just because it's a waste for them to put an ad in front of me. These people are paying for these ads, and I've never bought anything.
So good I drink it. This song right here is for the red, white, and blue.
I don't drink vodka. I drink gin. I rarely drink, and when I do, it's gin and pineapple. I don't give a fuck about vodka. I'll never try this vodka. Only thing I'd maybe drink is that Crystal Head stuff because it comes in a skull and it's Dan Aykroyd affiliated. I don't know if he owns the whole company, but anyway, yeah.
You got good taste, and you drink like it too. Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly. Wheatley, American vodka.
Would you like to take this opportunity?
I'll never buy that vodka. YouTube just wasted those people's money. Well-regulated militia. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, we are. Fuck yeah. I hold a gun up, but I know I followed this one guy on Twitter, and he got the boot from YouTube for holding up a rifle. So we're not going to do that. That's weird. Gin and pineapple, that's effing weird, bro. Well, we can't keep dilly-dallying over here. We got to get to this debate, but no, gin and pineapple, they really do complement each other, fat pig. If you just pop a bottle of gin and you smell it, it smells a little bit piney. I forget what the fuck they make gin from, what plant, but it's a piney smell already. And when you mix it with the pineapple, it's just so fucking smooth. Gin and juice, brother. Watermelon. Orange is so overrated for mixing with drinks. And people, when you do a gin and juice, if you don't tell them, the bartender, gin and pineapple, they'll fucking put some nasty fucking orange juice in there, and it's not the same. All right, here we go with this. Let's get into this debate here. This is you don't see Andrew Tate too often doing debates and stuff anymore. So this was interesting. This popped up. There's a few viral clips in this and some touchy subjects that come up. So let's get right into it.
Finally, to tell the rioters to stop rioting. Yes or no?
Let me make it clear to the people on both sides of the equation, all of my brothers in Islam and all of the Christians and native people of the
There's good people on both sides.
UK who feel like they're underrepresented. You have more in common with the people you live amongst than you do with these political elites. The people you live amongst love their children, and they're struggling to pay the bills exactly like you are. What kind of powder keg are we building here through incompetent leadership in the UK? I'm a mixed race Muslim, and I'm pointing out this very obvious truth.
The sheer brass neck, frankly, Andrew, of you lecturing me about the truth when you've spent the last week spewing complete fake news bullshit. You told your millions of followers, and it was seen by 15 million people, that it was an illegal migrant who had committed these crimes. Are you prepared to apologize for that lie?
Only in the UK do we have a country so insane that we have no border, we don't know who's there, crimes through the roof, nobody's safe on the streets anymore, and then when you point these things out, somehow you're some kind of racist and bad person.
No, you're posting complete disinformation.
I'm sorry,
it's not okay.
Sir. Did I get the wrong stabber? Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, you did.
Piers Morgan, of course, I got the wrong stabber.
You did.
Piers, be very careful what you say.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Another ad. Let's Michelob Ultra. You'd think they would have given me a gin ad. I'm telling it that I drink gin. Show me a gin that I haven't tried. Maybe I'll buy it. Not really, because I'm broke, but I don't even drink beer. I'm more likely to drink vodka than beer.
Bring it to me. Bring it on home to me.
Oh, wow, they look so good. And I bet they're just ice cold. Michelob Ultra.
Michelob Ultra, superior like beer.
I'll never drink it. I'll never drink it. Well, I might drink it if there's literally nothing. I'll never buy it, though. Michelob Ultra. Never. What? Why would I?
On July 29th,
they're just, YouTube is just stealing from people.
17-year-old boy murdered 3 girls and injured 8 more children in a horrific mass stabbing at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in Merseyside. The alleged killer was born in Wales to Rwandan parents. The police did not initially confirm his identity because he's aged under 18. Disinformation filled the vacuum instead.
right-wing influencers spread a battery of false claims online, including that the killer was a devout Muslim and a Syrian refugee. Riots and looting have since spread to at least 16 towns and cities across the UK. Far-right thugs have sieged mosques and hotels housing asylum seekers. Groups of armed Muslim men have attacked people in the street. These appalling scenes have become a stain on Britain's global reputation. Elon Musk has commented that civil war is inevitable in the UK. Many US conservatives amplifying the unrest as apparent evidence of failed multiculturalism. One of the influencers accused of fanning the flames is Andrew Tate, a recently converted Muslim man whose inaccurate claims in the days after the mass stabbing have been viewed tens of millions of times. And he joins me now. Andrew Tate, welcome back to Uncensored.
Okay, I didn't say it yet, but Andrew Tate, look, I don't trust him. I don't trust this guy at all. I don't know if this is just some controlled opposition type of shit. This guy, I remember seeing this guy pop up on my Instagram a few years ago, and he was talking about some bullshit like, you know, how masculinity isn't toxic and whatever bullshit. And I just thought he was incredibly cringe. And then he's like started blowing up in popularity. And I saw people that I respected posting Andrew Tate stuff. And I was like, wait, people can't tell that this guy's like cringe as fuck. I mean, I get there is undoubtedly some things that he says that I agree with. But it's just, I don't trust him. The top G, he comes out arrested. Just like I saved the picture somewhere. I'll pull it up while we watch this, and then we'll take a break and go through some of this shit. But he calls himself Top G, the G, and he's doing a triangle, like Illuminati triangle. Like half the time he talks, he's going like this, and it doesn't even look natural. It's like he awkwardly is like flashing the symbol, just like going like this. He gets arrested and they're taking pictures. He's in the back of the car and the photographers are flashing and he's just going like this in the back of the fucking police car. Like, you see it? It's like, and then he calls himself Top G, and a G is a part of the fucking Freemason symbolism. It's like, what are we doing here? And then he talks about the Matrix, breaking out of the Matrix, and is like only seen smoking cigars and on yachts, like buying expensive cars and buying yachts and cigars. That's breaking out of the Matrix, right? Right? That's you're free now. You're free. You bought a fucking Lamborghini and a yacht. You've broken out of the Matrix, bro. Give me a fucking break. It's so sus. This guy is sus 100%. And then having, taking advantage, we could go on the shit that he got in trouble for, taking advantage of women, having them, managing chicks, OnlyFans and whatever the fuck, bragging and telling other people how to rip women off by like having them do that shit. I mean, it's like he's got some scummy. I don't know about this guy, to put it lightly.
It's been a while.
It has. And obviously in fact, I'm about to talk to you, Nigel Farage, who is now a member of parliament in the UK and who has been saying some very inflammatory things in the last week or so about these riots, has blamed you and named you in a radio interview as the person who spread the disinformation, which he then believed. I want to start by playing a clip of a video you posted to Instagram, I think it was, on the 29th of July, that you posted to various social media platforms, in which was your response to what had happened.
So an undocumented migrant decided to go into a Taylor Swift dance class today and stab 6 little girls. That's right, somebody arrived in the UK on a boat. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knows where he's from. The media is, of course, hiding the fact that this is a 17-year-old male. They don't want to highlight how ridiculous it is that we allow military-aged males, combatants, to flood our shores. I don't see any protests in the UK. I don't see anybody complaining. Nobody's outside of the school. Nobody's outside the police station. The soul of the Western man is so broken that when the invaders slaughter your...
This guy's, I'm sorry. This guy's a fucking joke. I'm sorry if anyone in my chat is like a Tate fan. Please, like, understand there's, he's probably said some things that I would agree with, like you do, but this guy is fucking cringe. Look at him watching himself in this video. Look how serious, look how mad he's trying to look while watching himself act like a fucking clown. I would not, if Piers Morgan had me on and he pulled up some video of me yelling about something, I could not keep a straight face. I would literally just be ducking out of frame with the, like dying laughing at some stupid video of me ranting.
Your daughters do absolutely fucking nothing.
Now that video has been viewed 15.1 million times. X limited the post's visibility because of its rules on hateful conduct. But the bottom line, Andrew, is that almost everything you said in that video was completely untrue. And yet it was apparently seized upon online, spread wide and far, and made people believe what you were saying. So my question for you off the top here is, why did you race to spread such woeful disinformation, given the massive following you have, and encourage people to take action against a caricature and description of who had perpetrated this, which was simply untrue?
Well, firstly, I'll start by saying I didn't know Nigel Farage said those things about me, which is a shame because I'm actually a fan of him. I think he's trying to do the right thing. I also understand in his political sphere, sometimes he has to hang other people out to dry to save himself because he's getting heat also. Secondly, I'll argue with you about the fact that everything I said was untrue. I think the only thing I said that was untrue is that perhaps he was undocumented. It was a 17-year-old male. It was a migrant. He did kill little girls. And advocating for people to stand outside and make it clear that they're unhappy with what happened is not a dangerous ideology. We live in a democracy where we have the right to protest and the right to make it clear when our voices are not heard. I recently protested against the Olympic ceremony outside the French embassy. I'm not sure if you saw it, complaining about how they depicted Jesus Christ because I was unhappy with what I saw. And I think that when people feel like
that, bro, hold on a sec. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up because I don't want to sound like a crazy person. Let me see here. Let me pull up video of this protest. I'll do it real quick on this same page. Last Supper. Bro, look at this that they're calling a fucking protest.
Building your online business?
Oh, here we go.
Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products.
I'll never use whatever they just advertise for me there. I'll never use that. That's another company getting ripped off by YouTube. Number one, the people I think involved with I've heard the defense of this is that it was a Dionysus type of thing. It wasn't even a real reenactment of the fucking Last Supper. It was some other bullshit that I barely know about, but like the blue guy in the center, I don't know how that's supposed to be the food or Jesus or something. It's like, no. And here's Tate out here with the fucking sign he printed with a printer at home. Okay. Just like standing around, and he looks lost to me. This looks just so fucking fake. It's just a publicity stunt. They're standing out here just so Tate can say, "Oh, I protested what happened at the Olympics because it was bad."
Firstly, they're not sorry. This was signed off on. And to sit here and let France mock the country, mock your religion, make fun of every single thing you feel holy. This is the Last Supper. This is everything holy about Christianity. And we say absolutely nothing about it and say, oh, you cannot even complain.
Is that the Last Supper, though? This is why I don't think I did a post saying that it was anti-Christian or anything, because I was kind of confused about how I just thought it looked stupid and it was just really gay. And that's coming from me. I'm a gay man, unfortunately, regretfully, but I just thought it was really gay. I was just like, why is all of this so fucking gay? I wasn't like, oh, wow, look, a fat chick in the center making a heart symbol and a bunch of other people standing along this runway. That must be the Last Supper. Like,
what are we doing wrong by saying that this is disgusting? This is not art. They don't try and trick you and deceive you. If I give you a poison apple and you eat it, I murder you. If I say this is a poison apple, all of this is done on purpose. They're telling you exactly what's going to happen. They're coming for your kids. They're coming for all your institutions. There's nothing cultural left now. They have
Tate's just out there bitching. This man who is like supposed to be the alpha male is out here bitching like a housewife at a protest over something that isn't even like look at this. How is this really supposed? I mean, this is just, Don't they have more people lined up here than what's in the actual picture when this camera pans out all the way? I mean, I don't even think it's the right amount of people. I don't know. And how is this fat chick with the heart thing? How is that supposed to be Jesus? I don't. Jesus wish he ate that well. Anyway, yeah, I think Tate's bullshit is it's stupid. Can I just go back?
Vodka soda.
Wheatley, so good I drink it.
This song right here is for the red, white, and blue. You got good taste when you drink like it too.
Wheatley, so good I drink it.
American vodka.
Would you like to take this opportunity finally to tell the rioters to stop rioting?
Oh,
yes
my
or
God,
no?
started
Let me make it clear to
over.
the people on both. Nigel Farage said those things about me, which is a shame because I'm actually a fan of him. I think he's trying to do.
We're close.
The problem we have now is that people do not have a voice, which is why we're seeing rioting, which is why we're seeing looting, because people do not feel like there's a political solution any longer. And what I was trying to do is encourage people to stand up and make their voice heard in a peaceful way to avoid violence. Because when people feel like they're not heard, violence is always the end result.
Yeah, but you've actually had the complete opposite effect, and you know the massive following that you have and the influence that you can wield. And by spreading, I mean, again, you've repeated the fact this kid who has obviously now been charged with very serious crimes, including killing these 3 girls, was a migrant. He wasn't a migrant. He was born in Wales. His parents were legal immigrants from Rwanda. So he's not a migrant. He's somebody born in Wales, born in the United Kingdom.
Well, first things first, it's unfair for you to say that I've had an opposite effect. What I did was point out the facts of the situation that a 17-year-old male killed little girls. If I point out the facts of the situation that the sky is blue, and then people go and decide to riot because I've said those things, does not mean those things are not true. That's the first thing. Secondly, here's where we have the dichotomy of the UK, and I actually think this conversation is going to be one of the most important and potent conversations of modern times, especially as this issue is not going to be solved anytime soon, Piers. The problem we have now in the UK is that we have a certain subsect of the population who believe because he was born in Cardiff, he is a Welsh man. And we have another subsect of the population who believe that even if he was born in Cardiff, he is not Welsh. I'm currently in Romania. I'm an American and British citizen. The woman who I have a child with is Italian. The child was born in Romania. The Romanians do not consider that child Romanian, not by their view of the world. If I had a child in China, they would not consider that kid Chinese. They would look at the face shape of the child and say that's not a Chinese child. If I had a black child in Russia, they would not consider that child Russian. In the West, in the democracies, we do. But we have
I can guarantee you, and I'm in the boat here with Piers, okay? I can guarantee you Piers did not expect Andrew Tate to have any kind of response that insightful, that would put things into perspective the way that he's thinking here. I mean, technically, it was wrong that the 17-year-old who did the stabbing was, he said he was an actual migrant, but his parents were. I mean, we're kind of splitting hairs here, I think. Let's I don't know how many hairs you need to split to realize the situation does not look good.
problem because you now have you have a dichotomy of ideas. You have 2 different camps, and the camp that believe that this person perhaps isn't even Welsh in the first place are also the camp which are being suppressed and not allowed to speak and are being smeared and labeled as far right for having genuine concerns. And that is why things are getting exasperated and out of control. What we need is conversation. What we need is dialect. You cannot have a multicultural democracy and ignore the concerns of one particular subsect of that culture, especially when it's the native culture, and expect everything to be fine forever. There's a lot of people who have a point of view. They didn't feel like they had a political solution anymore. And this is what's happening. The reason this dichotomy exists, Piers, please understand, if they are sitting there and they're accepting that this is a Welsh man, but now they're starting to get concerned for the safety of their children, and they don't feel like there's any kind of political solution, well, then they're going to come to the very simple and obvious conclusion that they'd rather not have anyone from anywhere else in their country to avoid these things happening again because they don't feel like there's any other political solution. This is a fail of the politicians. This is a failure of the leaders. It's a job of a leader to inspire all of the people to have trust in him, not just some of the people, not just the people he likes, not just the people on his party or the people he wants. It is his job as a leader to have every single person in the country believe that he cares about the issue and he's doing something actively to fix it. Instead, what Keir did was stand up and do the absolute opposite. Shut down any legitimate concerns, tell people they don't have a voice, tell people nothing's going to change, is going to stay exactly the way it is. Let me tell you something. I want to make this very clear. There's a lot of people in the world who would rather go to jail and have a warm bed and 3 square meals a day than watch their children die. There's a lot of people who would rather go to jail than watch their society collapse in real time around them. There's a lot of people who would really rather go to jail than feel unsafe to walk the street at night ever again. These are people who have lived in the same place for a very long time. They have a vested interest in this geographical location. And without political solutions being offered, I don't know how hubristic you must be to sit and expect anything other than what we've seen. This is a failure of leadership. And that's what's so disappointing about it.
Right, so here's my response to what you've just said. First of all Keir Starmer has said, as far as I can see, is that he is going to bring the full force of the law against people who committed acts of violence. And the violence that was perpetrated...
called them far right.
Yeah, well, there were far-right thugs who were leading this, and they were attacking mosques. They were chanting anti-Muslim chants, and they were doing this because people had put out there. Hang on, you've had your say. I'm going to have my say now. It was put out falsely on social media that the person who did this was a Muslim, not just a Muslim, but a Muslim who came in on one of the small boats, part of the very contentious, ongoing issue of the small boat. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying this is what was put out on social media in a series of false posts, which then went viral. Right? So he was supposedly a Muslim, not true. Supposedly came in on a small boat, not true. Supposedly on an MI6 watch list as a potential terrorist, not true. None of this was true. And so on the back of that, far-right thugs who led this went up and attacked mosques, and they went and attacked hotels with asylum seekers in there waiting to be protest, and they were trying to set fire to them. Those are acts of
Okay, so if he's really trying to split hairs on this, whether or not this person's Muslim, they I think if they're going to the hotels where the asylum seekers are at, I don't expect them to be, 100% Muslim, and I don't think they would either. So clearly they're just going after people that are seen as, outsiders from their country. Going after the mosques, I mean, that's kind of fucked up to go after a religious building. But, this is like Tate's kind of saying. I mean, I agree with him a little bit here that people feel like they don't have a voice, so they resort to violence. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm definitely, I don't want to endorse anything here, but yeah, bro, people are, as we've seen in Israel/Palestine, people get really touchy about their land. That's yeah.
despicable violence, which were being led by far-right thugs. Now, not everybody involved in all these protests is a far-right thug. Some of them will be ordinary members of the public trying to legitimately protest peacefully. I completely accept it. But the ones who were leading it, who were committing the acts of violence and making the threats against the Muslim community, were doing so because they have been completely misled about who had done this. It was not a Muslim. It was not an illegal immigrant. It was not somebody on the MI6 watch list. It was none of those things. Now, you posted on July the 30th, the day after the killing, and I feel particularly incensed, by the way, that the deaths of these 3 young girls have been hijacked in such a reprehensible manner to attack Muslims when a Muslim had nothing to do with it, right? You put this on July.
Hey, that's like what they do to gun owners in America. Every time some fucking left-wing nut job goes and shoots something up, they're like, "You fucking gun owners, you're all fucking scum. You just want to have your guns because you think they're cool, and children are being shot. Y'all are scumbags."
The 30th, you posted a picture saying, "This is the man from Cardiff." We're looking at this picture now. The murder of the little girl, straight off a boat, you said. Really? He wasn't straight off a boat, because this wasn't the person who perpetrated the crimes. You got 4.3 million views for this. And a community notes clarified, this is not the man that attacked the children and adults in Southport. This image is of Kasonga Mabulu, who was arrested in Ireland in 2023 for a random knife attack at Dublin Airport. So again, 24 hours later, you're posting more. Okay. You're posting more. You're posting complete disinformation.
Sorry,
it's not okay. Sir. It's not okay.
Oh, I'm no.
It was not the man.
Did I get the wrong stabber? Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, you did.
Piers Morgan, of course.
Oops, it was a different black guy that did the stabbing, not that one. That one did do a stabbing, but it wasn't the right stabbing. So Piers Morgan, he's not going to let that kind of discrimination just, run rampant, okay? Wrong stabber, Tate. You bigot.
I got the wrong stabber, and he certainly looked very Welsh to me. Let me make this clear: I'm a Muslim, and I think anybody who attacked a mosque is going to have to deal with God. I'm not worried about the full force of the law; they should worry about God itself. But I also want to make something very clear to all the people at home, and clear to you, that most of the white people are very frustrated, and they're finding an enemy amongst themselves to take it out on. I think that the white people on these streets have a lot more in common with the brown people on these streets than they do with the politicians, because that's the problem we have here. Keir did not just only say they're going to face the full force of the law. He told everybody with a point of view, everybody who's concerned about the safety of their children, that they are extremists, and that's the most aggravating language you can possibly choose when people finally have had enough of not feeling safe on their own streets any longer. We have people who cannot afford to pay their bills, watching migrants arrive, who are now being held up in hotels at the taxpayers' expense for indefinite periods of time. We're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. Nobody voted for it. Nobody wants it. And everybody's struggling to pay their bills. Energy prices are through the roof. Inflation is through the roof. Now they no longer feel safe on their streets. They don't want to put their daughters outside to play. The police won't protect them. The police won't turn up for most crimes unless it's something you say bad on Facebook. And when they look for a political solution, they're ignored. What kind of powder keg are we building here through incompetent leadership in the UK? This is nothing but a leadership failure. There's not a country in the world where leadership could fail this spectacularly
once again, Andrew,
different result.
All right. But once again, Andrew, you are spouting nonsense in what you've just said. Not all of it, but some of it is nonsense. You say, for example, nobody voted for the UK to support Ukraine. We've literally just voted Keir Starmer in the United Kingdom with a landslide majority, and he made it crystal clear before that election that he would be contributing billions of our pounds to help the people of Ukraine thwart a Russian dictator. Well, you may laugh, but you just literally said the complete opposite. So we did actually vote for a leader and a party that was completely committed to dedicating billions of pounds of taxpayer money to helping people in Ukraine defeat Vladimir Putin. So that, again, is a complete untruth that you've just espoused.
I'm sure the people who are protesting up there in the north of England who can't afford to pay their bills, who are watching migrants live for free in hotels, who don't feel safe at night because the police don't have enough resources to turn up and respond to crime, are very happy that we're sending money to Ukraine. You're completely right. Yeah. The fact he only had 20% of the populist vote has nothing to do with it. And the fact that every single...
Oh, that was a good little back and forth there. Piers was like, "In your face, Tate. We did vote for it, but wait, the fucking country's burning down."
Party will send money to Ukraine because we live in a uni-party system which is corrupt to the core in the first place. That's the reason why no matter who you vote for, the migrants keep coming, and no matter who you vote for, the money keeps getting siphoned out the tax base and sent to Ukraine. That's the truth of it, is that most people are starting to realize and wake up from the matrix and understand there are no political solutions because it's all a scam and it's all a lie. What we need is people to understand at home that we have to think outside the box and vote for somebody who's not part of this two-party, uni-party insanity, which is why I was a fan of Nigel Farage. Even if he sells me down the river, even if he says I'm a bad person, that's his prerogative and that's his decision to make. I still believe he's the best choice as a leader for the UK.
Well, Nigel Farage is not just... hang on. Nigel Farage has literally just chucked you under a monumental bus. He's gone on LBC radio and he said the reason that he himself was promoting complete nonsense about the person who committed these heinous crimes was because of people like you. Andrew Tate, he names you. He says that you were responsible for spinning disinformation, which he was dumb enough to believe.
Well, I never said he was a Muslim. I never said he was a Syrian. I never said he was on the MI6 watch list. The only thing I could have got incorrect is that he was an undocumented migrant. And if Nigel Farage has done that, that's his decision. He'll have to live with his conscience. I'm not here to tell him how to think. I'm also man enough to be
Yeah, I'd love to see what Nigel Farage says. I'm not going to waste our time going and fucking trying to look for that. But yeah, Piers is kind of spinning this like he's putting Tate into this this pool of people on Twitter that shared a bunch of misinformation when Tate just kind of slightly got the migrant thing wrong. I mean, he's first generation, the kid, right? They said his parents were migrants. So, you know, I mean, he's just one generation away from the migration. He's the you know, the first one born on that land. So it's like we could kind of split hairs here, but the sentiment might have been accurate of what Tate was saying, that it's an outsider, is, you know, Piers Morgan is trying to split hairs a little bit just to call BS on everything Andrew Tate said, and all the other shit Piers Morgan listed was shit that he didn't say. All of the other fact checks he gave was just all these things he saw on Twitter, and Tate's getting thrown into that group.
Understanding that not everybody has to like me all of the time for me to agree with some of the things they say. The biggest problem we have in the world today is everybody's so emotional. Everybody's so upset all the time that somebody says something bad about them, they pretend that person's completely bad. Nobody is completely bad. Nobody is completely evil. Everybody loves their children. Everybody wants to live in peace. A lot of people talk about the idea of war, but let me promise you, Piers, I'm a person who's had a very varied life. When you see people with machetes outside your door threatening you and the police aren't answering the phone anymore, you don't want war. The Muslims want peace. The white natives of the UK, the Christians want peace. Everybody wants peace. But when you have a political class which refuses to listen to absolutely anybody, do whatever they want, grind everyone into poverty irregardless, then you're going to have some sort of...
Do the Muslims want peace? Is that true? I don't think that's true. I haven't read the Quran or anything, but I'm pretty sure they you know, it's part of the doctrine to kill infidels or something like that. Do they want peace? That's an honest question.
Uprising, and it's unfortunate that the poor people, and I call them poor, I mean the average person, is turning on the average person as opposed to turning on the rich elites who are just plundering the country. That's the truth of what's happening.
But what is really...
We played it. Yeah. The only thing I had incorrect was that he was undocumented. That's the only thing you could perhaps say he was incorrect. The London stabbing, Piers. The London bridge attack, he was born in Pakistan. We want to sit here and talk about how the large contingent of the people committing terror attacks in the UK and the most heinous crimes are not natively English people. And when we need to sit here and address this without being called racist, without being called far right, I'm a mixed race Muslim and I'm pointing out this very obvious truth. If we're not going to be able to point out the truth, what do you expect besides anger?
Well, I mean, the sheer brass neck, frankly, Andrew, of you lecturing me about the truth when you spent the last week spewing complete fake news bullshit is breathtaking, right? And also, I would say you've also been spewing stuff that is blatantly racist. On the 1st of August, you posted a cartoon saying, "Typical man from Cardiff." Let's look at that cartoon. This has had 11 million views.
Yeah, it's a taxpayer. It's a migrant arriving on the boat with taxpayers' money, and I think a lot of people are upset about that. I want to make something clear because I'm a Muslim myself.
When you say typical man...
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, actually. Good one, Tate. Do I follow Tate? I might follow you. If I don't follow you already, you might get a follow out of this.
When you say typical, hang on. When you say typical man from Cardiff, you are again telling people that, in your estimation, the person that committed this came in as an illegal migrant on a boat. That is not true. None of that is true.
Well, what I'm actually doing, Piers, because you may not be aware of this because you're part of the legacy media machine, which is why you defended Israel so heavily.
I'm on YouTube.
You're not allowed to have your own
opinion.
You're not allowed
on legacy media.
You're part of the legacy media
on
machine,
YouTube.
and you're not allowed to have your own opinion. So let me explain.
Every word of this will go up, as you know.
Perfect. I understand exactly how the media machine works. The fact that they kept highlighting that he's from Cardiff and showing pictures of him as a child, as opposed to showing pictures of him as the large barbaric man he was, which stabbed those little girls, was a deliberate PR spin by the propaganda arm of the British government to try and subvert and subdue the UK populace because they knew everybody would be outraged by what they saw. That's why every picture of him is he's a kid.
Honestly,
they keep saying he's from Cardiff. This was set up on purpose. Now, the point I was making is
he was literally born in Cardiff. The
Do you think
Matrix
that makes
didn't
him Welsh?
pretend he was born in Cardiff. You've been posting cartoons of people coming in illegally armed on little boats because you want people to think that the person that did this was that person, but he wasn't.
You cut out there, Piers.
His parents came on boats. Yes, Piers, we've been through this. Quit trying to split this hair a second time.
I think I understood you. I'm a Muslim myself, so there's no reason why I want any kind of violence against Muslims. That's the first thing that's very clear. And I want to make something else very clear. I'm actually in a quite unique scenario as a Muslim revert, half black, half white. I've had both sides of this dichotomy try and recruit me, perhaps. I can't be taught to hate anybody. There's no Muslim alive who can teach me to hate anybody, and there's no white man alive who can teach me to hate anybody. There's no hate in my heart, there's only love. But when you have love, you have protectiveness. And you have to feel a protectiveness for the things you care about. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. We call people hateful all the time for having a point of view, especially when they get out on the street because they feel like they need to express it. A lot of these people were not hateful. A lot of these people were full of love and they were full of concern.
You literally encourage people to feel hateful. You've encouraged people to feel hateful because you've encouraged people to believe the person that did this crime, this alleged person that did it, because it's going to court, not to let the process do its due process. But the person who's been charged with the crimes of killing these poor girls is not an illegal migrant. But you wanted to demonize illegal migrants by what you've been doing in the last week. You wanted people to believe this was one of the people who come over on a boat illegally into this country, part of the so-called invasion. And here's the interesting thing about your position with regard to your conversion to Islam and becoming a Muslim. Muslims, as you know, have been ranting about you for the last few days and utterly betraying them because you've decided to associate yourself with Tommy Robinson, who is a far-right thug, who has been spewing utter horrible Islamophobic, anti-Muslim rhetoric all week, and yet you have not distanced yourself from him. So the Muslim community in the UK now view you as part of the enemy too. You know that.
Piers Morgan is acting like what is it, Ben Affleck? He's acting like Ben Affleck when Sam Harris told Ben Affleck for the first time that Muslims are like, believe fucked up violent shit. And Ben Affleck was on some talk show, like it was Bill Maher or something, I think. And Ben Affleck's like, that is disgusting. That's like, saying shifty Jew or something, man. What? That whatever poll, some percentage of Muslims, a large majority says that gay people should be killed. Oh man, I can't believe you would say that about Muslims. No, Ben Affleck, they really think that. God, man, you are disgusting. How could you say that? No, well, so I'm telling you what the Muslims are saying. How could you even say that? Oh my God.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I pray for my brothers, and I think the information I've seen and the replies I've seen have not been hateful from the Islamic community. Saying to Tommy Robinson that I will debate him on issues, I don't think is failing to distance myself. I debate you all the time, Piers, and we disagree on basically everything. I'm happy to argue with Tommy because we disagree on so many different points of view, and I think it's very important that we have conversation. The reason these riots are happening in the first place is because everybody's afraid to talk. I'm prepared to sit down with somebody I don't like and don't agree with.
That's complete nonsense. That's nonsense. The reason the riots are happening is people like you and Tommy Robinson have been spewing utter disinformation, which has led people to believe that the person that perpetrated these despicable crimes was an illegal Muslim migrant who was on the MI6 terror watch list. Right. I'm saying you and Tommy Robinson, between you.
Piers Morgan is going off like this is the first stabbing that was the child of a migrant that did the stabbing instead of the migrant themselves. This is the first one, okay? And like all the other fucking stabbings and attacks are the migrants, and they found the one stabbing that it was the offspring of a migrant. And Piers Morgan is like, how could you say that about these migrants? They just want to live in peace there. He said they want to live in peace too, but I mean, they point out the issues with the migrants, and the one stabbing happened to not be. So Piers is just going to completely demolish, deconstruct the whole idea that maybe you shouldn't let your land get completely invaded by foreigners. He can deconstruct that whole idea because this one stabber wasn't a migrant. It was the child of a migrant. Case closed. Good job, Piers Morgan.
Between you. Okay, I'm saying between you.
But where's the logic failure?
There's a logic failure.
There's a logic failure of lumping me in with somebody who I don't agree with and saying, oh, you and
so do you denounce Tommy Robinson?
Tommy Robinson, I disagree on a whole bunch of issues. I think he's completely incorrect on his view of Islam. We're not playing this game of constant denouncing.
Do you denounce him for inciting the rioting?
I denounce him for everything bad he said about Islam. He's absolutely incorrect, and I cannot be his friend or support him for that reason.
For inciting the rioting by telling people it was a Muslim illegal migrant.
It's not for me. It's not for me to decide who has incited the rioting. It's not for you to decide.
Well, you can't denounce that.
A court. Denounce what? I'm not going to
denounce
say
Tommy
he was in charge of the
Robinson,
riots because
telling people he was an illegal Muslim.
My view on why the riots happened is because I believe that the native population, the Christian population of the UK, feels like their voice is not heard. I think
Piers Morgan is calling for him to denounce Tommy Robinson because he got two little facts wrong. You'd think Piers Morgan could have like a laundry list of, here is 15 times that Tommy Robinson said something, unfactual and smearing about Muslims and encourage violence. You'd think he'd have like 15 things lined up. You're asking for people to denounce Tommy Robinson, and your big quote, the nail in the coffin, so to speak, is he said it was a Muslim migrant, the one stabber that wasn't. He said he was. You have to denounce him.
If their voice was heard and they had correct,
no, that's not why the riots happened.
Things would not be happening.
That's not why the riots
exactly
happened. The riots happened.
The
riots happened because people
things are written on social media all day, every day.
No,
Andrew.
Andrew.
There's no riots.
No, Andrew.
People finally had enough after endless attacks where they felt like they did not get a voice.
Let me respond.
When you don't have a political avenue, you're going to choose a violent one. I think Tommy is wrong about Israel, just like you were, because you were supporting the genocide in Gaza, and I stood up against you for that. I think Tommy.
I wasn't supporting any genocide in Gaza.
He has a voice. Yes, you were. He has a voice, and I'm prepared to sit here and debate with him. I'm prepared to correct him on the things he's wrong about. And for you to sit and then you support genocide, you're going to say I'm a bad person for saying that little girls shouldn't get stabbed by people who don't belong in the UK in the first place. I don't care if you're a Muslim, I care if you're a Christian, black or white.
Okay.
Nobody should be coming up into the country without a passport.
I'm going to respond.
Nobody.
I'm going to respond by saying this. I believe the successive Labour and Conservative governments have completely lost control of immigration to our country, both legal and illegal. They all promised tens of thousands net migration. It's never happened. We now had nearly 1 million people come in last year, net 700, 800,000, whatever it is, most of them legally, completely outrageously large number, which is unsustainable for a country as small as the United Kingdom. We've also got a big issue with, although a much smaller issue, I would argue, with the illegal people coming in on these boats and some of them dying in the process, which is an appalling human tragedy perpetrated by evil traffickers, and this has to be dealt with. So on that, I completely agree. My issue with what's happened in the last week is that we've got Elon Musk talking about there now is going to be an inevitable civil war in the United Kingdom. And I've noticed what he hasn't done. I've called him out on this today. In his series of attacks on Keir Starmer, the new British Prime Minister, he has tried to paint a picture that there is one rule of policing the right-wing thugs who've been attacking mosques.
Did he try?
Well, they have, as you know, and another rule for Muslims walking around armed to the teeth looking for white people to attack. I think both are completely reprehensible, and I'm easily able to say that. The problem is Elon Musk has said nothing condemnatory about the initial rioting, which has continued to go on, which has been anti-Muslim and directly targeting mosques and Muslims for something that they had nothing to do with, which was the killing of these children. And I have a massive problem with that. Yeah. And you have boxed yourself, if you don't mind me saying, hang on. You have boxed yourself into a position now where your own Muslim community in the UK are enraged with you because they believe you are siding with Tommy Robinson, who is leading a far-right series of attacks on Muslims and mosques and is being blatantly Islamophobic in the process. And you know that. And so what do you say to the Muslim community who believe that's what you're doing?
Well, if there's a small contingent of the Muslim community which believe that, I've yet to see so much vitriol
like
not small exists. But I want to make it very clear. I'll make it very clear, Piers. I'll make it very clear here. I'll answer the question. I am an Islamic revert, and I do not want to talk scripture because there's people more qualified than I, but I'll make it clear. I lead with love in my heart. The Islam I was taught was one of peace and tolerance. There's not a single person alive who can force me to take sides or to hate anybody else. And I don't care what kind of Islamic person you are. To come along and tell me I should hate somebody else because of Islam is not the kind of Islam I prescribe to. I have half of my family which is Christian, half of my family which is Muslim. I'm half black, I'm half white. I do not want either sides of my family to face any kind of violence on the streets. I'm the person who's been calling for peace. You're reading out the odd tweet here and there. Why don't you read out the 30 tweets I tweet explaining that we need peace on the streets and we need to restore some form of democratic
thuggish ruggish. What the fuck? Suge Knight said the reason Ben is leaving J-Lo is because the FBI showed him a video of J-Lo at a Diddy party. You know what? I'll spread that on Twitter. I will spread that rumor. I don't know if that's true. It's believable though. It sounds true. It sure does. So wait, did they break up and get back together and then they're breaking up again, or what is it? Thuggish. I don't even I haven't kept up with either of those idiots. So anyway, that's interesting though, and I don't doubt it. She's probably getting banged out at a Diddy party. She's probably had every orifice filled. All right, let's move on here.
Representation to the House of Parliament. You only choose and lie by omission and try and pretend there's a problem where there's not. I love all of my Islamic brothers, and I also love every Christian, Buddhist, and Hindu. I'm a person who has no hate in his heart, and if anybody has a problem with me personally, I'm happy to speak to them about it. But all in all,
What about
I've not seen
what about
this
Jewish
hate that you're
people?
pretending exists. I've actually seen unlimited
Jewish
support.
people?
I've actually seen huge support from the Islamic community. That's what I've seen, because they understand that in Islam we teach each other to live and love
let me
with
read
peace.
you.
We're not sitting
All
here
right,
to fight each other. And actually, one more thing.
Stop talking for a moment.
I will say to the Muslim brothers, I will say this. We need to show the world that we are not the hateful ideology they think we are. We need to show the world that we believe in God and we trust God and that we're going to stand up for our beliefs and we're not going to allow ourselves to be watered down or walked all over. But we also need to understand that there's this terrible perception of us that has been painted by the Western media machine. And I like to live with love. When I tell people I'm a Muslim, I see fear in some people's eyes. I spend a lot of time trying to talk that fear out of them. There's love in my heart. There's nothing but love in my heart for everybody.
Yeah, you keep saying there's so much love in your heart.
I will pray.
Fine. There's a lot of love in your heart, but
they're scared because you always look angry. And your smile, when you smile, it looks evil. And I think you know that. Stop pretending you're not trying to scare people. I hate when black people do that too. When black people will do like some scary shit. They know they're scaring white people and they do it on purpose. And then they make fun of us when we're scared and they joke about it. You guys know what I'm talking about? Black people totally do that. They fuck with white people and then they act like, dang, white people sensitive. What the fuck? Y'all crazy.
But not in when it comes to but your first response to the murders of these children was to issue a video in which you spew complete nonsense about the perpetrator being an illegal migrant to this country. That does not fill people with love. It makes them hate all illegal immigrants to this country, as well you know. On August the 4th, you retweeted the notorious white supremacist Nick Fuentes on the subject of the riots. And you said this, or he said this, Fuentes, it's clear that not only are these protests being amplified and directed by Zionist plants on social media, but the mayhem will also catalyst a major crackdown on speech and persecution of legal right in the UK. So it's Zionist plants are fueling this, apparently. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think the point he was trying to make, and this is the meta point, which is very important, is that fighting each other is never going to work. When you have people who live on the same street,
that wasn't the point he made. The point he made is that Zionist plants, so Jewish people, Jewish people on social media.
I will pull up. I just sent a video of this to a friend of mine. I will pull up a video showing exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure somebody is going to clip if no one gives a fuck what I say, but someone could take a clip of that and make me look bad that I said black people are scary. They do stuff on purpose to scare us, okay? I'm not being racist saying that. That is true. I will pull this video up because I sent a video to a friend of mine that it's clearly set up, and this video went viral a little bit, but my friend hadn't seen it. And they're fucking with white people by acting fucking crazy, and they're recording it because it's funny, and it is, okay? But then don't pretend you're not trying to scare people like this guy does. You look angry all the time, and you have an evil smile. That's why people are scared, not because you're Muslim.
Amplifying the riot.
I mean, the Muslim part could be part of it too, but the face and everything, that's part of it.
You retweeted it, so presumably you agree with him.
Well, Tommy and you do work for the same people, so that is interesting that you want to try and bring this point up. However, let me make this clear.
You literally retweeted Nick Fuentes, who is a disgusting white supremacist who spews anti-Semitic crap morning, noon, and night. You retweeted him. Do you agree with him when he said it's clear these protests are being amplified and directed by Zionist plants on social media? Do you agree with that?
Well, the point I agree with, if you will let me finish my answer. When you have white people and brown people on the same street,
do you agree with Zionist plants?
I'm trying to answer the question. When you have black people, brown people, white people on the same street who are all upset with the government because the government has betrayed them, and I think everybody agrees that, and they're fighting against each other, this will only result in more government crackdowns and more power against everybody. Brown people and white people, Muslims and Christians, everybody will suffer from more totalitarianism from the government. Keir Starmer stood up and said, I'm going to be totalitarian, and I'm going to use this
just distracting. You're answering a different question.
And take away your ability to ever answer any question and have a true point of view, or to ever assemble and make it clear that you're unhappy about certain things. What Nick was right about was the result of all of this senseless violence.
Nick Fuentes is so triggering to people. It's so funny. I was watching. I found the video, by the way. You guys want to see what the fuck I'm talking about? Y'all think I'm racist, huh? Let's see. Stop screen share. Let's pull up this other page because people just think I'm fucking whatever. But then explain this video, okay? Explain this.
You suck! Who the fuck you want to fight? What? Man, what?
Dude, this is so unhinged. This is so fucking unhinged. They are trying to scare these two white people. The person recording, I'll start it over so we can see. The person's secretly recording. They're fucking with these people and scaring them on purpose. This is what black people do to us. Look, they're waiting for the white people to react. And we are the best at pretending we don't see something. White people cannot be beat when it comes to pretending and ignoring, okay? The house can be burning down around us and we'll just sit there and pretend it's not happening. They aren't flinching a bit here. They're not flinching because they're afraid to offend this person by showing that they are completely scared that they're having a schizophrenic episode with a little baby doll on a leash. He just kicks the doll away. Oh, fuck. I love this video. I fucking love this video. You know, it's funny enough. Black people, you can keep trolling us because this is funny. What the fuck? We got now again. This is a man. This is a man wearing women's boots and a dress and some shit here. They're just going around New York and trolling people. This is like, you know, this is what black people do for fun is they just fuck with white people. The rollers in the hair is just intense. And there's a baby doll on a leash. This person's walking in here just to cause mass confusion. And watch the white lady turns around like thinking somebody was laughing and she's like the fear. Okay, and see, we can see that's a black guy right here that's recording, and he was recording right from the start. It's not like this person walked in and he's like, oh, I'm gonna record because they look crazy. These people are in on it together. The black people are teaming up against us to troll us. I don't know what race I really am. I look white or whatever. I'm adopted. I haven't done genetic testing, but, you know, I'll say us for now.
You suck! Who the fuck you want to fight? What?
They're saying that into the mirror. They're not trying to fight anybody. They're just trying to scare white people.
What? Man, what?
That's my name. What the fuck are you even saying? No one knows what you're doing. All right, let's go back to the fucking... I just wanted to prove that's just a crackhead. Dude, that's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think. It's not a crackhead. That is someone in character just to fuck with white people. Okay? We don't go around doing that anymore. Okay, let's get back to the let's get back to the Piers Morgan video. I just wanted to prove I'm not racist. At least not for what I said before. Black people like to fuck with white people and scare them on purpose and then make fun of them because they're scared. That's what I just showed you proof. That whole video was set up. Does y'all want me to post that somewhere so you can analyze it and watch it 100 times like I have? I've watched it like 100 times just for fun. It's so bizarre.
violence, which is going to be a government crackdown, and everyone's going to lose their rights. He was right about that, and that's why it's so important that all my Muslim brothers understand that violence is not the answer, and all of the Christians also who are upset and worried understand violence is not the answer, and that we have more in common with each other than we do these elites who are selling us out. And
what
those
about
are the people who are deciding that these boats
Stop
are going to
talking for a moment. I'm just going to try one more
average
time.
Muslim man on the street doesn't want boats arriving of undocumented migrants either. You can't turn up in the United Arab Emirates without a passport. You can't go to Qatar without a passport. You can't go to Bahrain without a passport. Only in the UK. Only in the UK do we have a country so insane that we have no border. We don't know who's there. Crimes through the roof. Nobody's safe on the streets anymore. And then when you point these things out, somehow
I'm Andrew Tate. I'm Andrew Tate, guys.
You're some kind of racist and bad person. This is not anti-Islamic to say you need a passport to come to the UK.
But that's the problem.
In the United Arab Emirates, you need a passport. They have the strictest immigration in the world.
Fine, Andrew, had you just said that, that's fine. Okay, we would all agree that the small boats is a total
I did say that, but you don't read it out.
It shouldn't be happening. No, you didn't. You told your millions of followers, and it was seen by 15 million people, this video, that it was an illegal migrant who had committed these crimes. That was a lie. Are you prepared to apologize for that lie?
It was a migrant, as opposed to an illegal migrant. So I was incorrect.
It wasn't. He was born in Wales.
As opposed to an illegal migrant. Well, this is where we have the false dichotomy.
He was somebody born here and was legally allowed to be in the country. Do you accept that?
This is where we have the dichotomy of views, which I explained to you earlier on. I explained to you why they exist.
Do you accept he was legally permitted to be in the country?
I'm happy to repeat myself if you don't understand. But when you don't give people a political outlet and they're trying to protect their children, they're going to go to extreme measures such as, I don't want anybody who looks like they're from anywhere else around me because I do not feel like the police can protect me anymore. And I feel like I have more in common and more in synergy with the people who think like and act like and look like me. That's what's going to happen. This is not me advocating for anything. This is human nature, sir. This is human nature that you're trying to deny. So you can sit here and virtue.
He's spreading lies.
This is the truth. This is human nature, which is the bottom line truth of things. If the police kept people safe like they do in Dubai, you could have a multicultural society. In Dubai, you have all different cultures, 80% immigration.
It's like fairly trivial, the part that Andrew Tate got wrong. And Piers Morgan is just like, look at these sad eyes, because he thought that he was just going to wipe the fucking floor with Tate. And Tate's making some relatively good arguments to show that Piers is really splitting hairs here. It wasn't a migrant. It was the offspring of a migrant, people who in theory don't respect the culture that they're moving to, that they're immersing themselves in. That's the argument here. He got it wrong by a generation. It's not like it was he's acting like it was a white person that grew up there with his whole fucking, generations back of people living in wherever the fuck.
Everybody praises it as a beautiful place to live because it's safe, because the police keep it safe. When the police fail to protect little girls, you can't walk down London Bridge without getting stabbed. You can't wear a nice watch without getting robbed. You can't walk on your phone without getting stolen. Houses are broken into.
Why don't you answer my question?
I'm answering it. When the police fail to protect anybody, you're going to see.
Why did you lie?
And
are you prepared to apologize? Why did you lie?
I've already answered and said I was incorrect saying he was an illegal migrant. He was a migrant. And I'm not going to apologize to anybody who stabbed 3 little girls. Perhaps that's your business, Piers. That's not mine.
He wasn't a migrant. He was born in Wales.
Solitary for the rest of his life.
He was born in Wales.
This is where the dichotomy comes in. The dichotomy I've explained to you 3 times that you fail to grasp because your mind.
I grasp it.
Your mind is not advanced.
You don't think people born in the United Kingdom are British? Do you now accept that when you said on the 29th of July that there was an illegal?
What was that edit there? That was an edit. So what did we edit out, Piers? Because you said the whole thing was going to go up unedited. Maybe they just took a break or something, but this is only an hour-long interview, not even. It's like 50-minute interview, and they needed a break, or did something get edited out there? Because that wasn't a clean cut.
Immigrant who had perpetrated this crime, that you were wrong.
I accept it. Looks like the facts of the matter say, in fact, it was a migrant instead of an illegal migrant. However, there's a huge number of crimes committed by illegal migrants, and I still think the country's not safe as long as they're allowed to come into the country.
Fine. And is your position that somebody born in the United Kingdom is not British?
Now this, I'm going to have to give you a 30-second answer to, Piers, but this is going to be a very important conversation for decades to come, so please hear me out.
Holy fucking shit. I watched some clips from this. Piers Morgan, it just keeps coming back for more to have Tate explain this a fucking 5th time. Holy fucking shit. Like, don't you guys aren't going to agree on this, Piers. You're just going to have to move on with the interview here.
The UK and the Western democracies are the only countries in the world where we will accept somebody born in the country, even if they have a different genetic lineage, are from that country. If you are born in China and you are not Chinese by appearance, they will never be Chinese.
What do you think? What do you think?
Let me answer it. But it's not about what I think, sir.
Yeah, he said this earlier 3-4 times.
There's a dichotomy within inside of the Western democracies, and this is extremely clear. If you do believe that somebody born in the country, irregardless of their genetic lineage, is from that country. The only way you can have a society function in this manner is if all people are fairly politically represented and if there's no two-tier policing. If you're going to allow anybody to turn up to a country, be born, become from that country, get preferential treatment in the political system and the judicial system, you are going to have outrage and you are going to have riots. If we're going to accept, sir, that people who are born inside of the UK at any point are from there and that is their country, then it's even more important that Keir Starmer represents everybody. He doesn't stand up and spit
just to answer my question,
flames.
but to answer
and
my
more
question,
important that we do not have two-tier policing like we've been witnessing.
Fine. I completely agree there should be no two-tier policing. Everyone should be exposed to the
dude, I think that's what's his fucking name? What? Yes, I've seen this guy. I follow him. I follow him on YouTube. The guy but that's an old video. There's probably a couple guys that did that dressed as a zombie and went into the hood, and he goes into like a drive-through and gets food and stuff, right? That's fuck. He does different characters. I can't believe Ed Bassmaster. That's that guy. That's who did that. But that's an old ass video when he did that. That's from like 12 years ago. But that's one of his like greatest hits is the fucking Ed Bassmaster goes in zombie face paint or whatever into the hood and like chases people, gets fast food and different shit. It's a pretty good video. Dude, he is so fucking funny. There's a clip of him. I think it is in Tampa, which is why I saw this video and then I followed him. He did stand up as one of his characters. Chip Diamond was the name of the character he was doing, where he's the guy that goes, psst. Like he'll go into a gym or something and someone will be bench pressing and he'll walk up and look at him and just go, psst, like they're weak or something. The guy's subtle, but he's funny as fuck. If you remember Fat Pig, that guy is the same guy. Bubba played the video of him where he's walking around the car and he's like, look at this. Oh, would you look at that? Look at this. That's the same guy, Ed Bassmaster. He did the zombie thing. All right, let's get back to this real quick. I know I got ADD.
Force of the law in exactly the same equitable manner. But just to be clear, do you personally, Andrew Tate, believe if you're born in the United Kingdom, you're British or not?
Personally, I don't think my personal views have anything to do with it, and I think they'll just distract from the point I made. The point I made
literally put your personal views out morning, noon, and night. So why are you dodging the question?
Because I don't think my personal views are that interesting. I think I could say my personal views, yes. I believe if you're born in the UK, you're from the UK. However,
you do. Okay, fine. No. You've answered the question. You believe they are British. So after that long speech, you agree with me. If you're born in the United Kingdom, you're British. Now, the other thing I want to get clarity on is this. This tweet from your friend Nick, as you call him, who's actually...
It doesn't matter what I think, Piers. It matters what the people who are rioting are
thinking. Fine, you made that point. I wanted to know what you think.
Fine, I just asked you what you thought. You're trying to deflect.
It's not a gotcha moment. I'm asking you to be honest.
That's what I think. You're right.
Okay,
that's what I think. But the people who are rioting think otherwise. So I'm trying to explain to you how they think, so we can give them a representation to prevent the riots happening again. I can understand other points of view where it seems you cannot.
You've answered the question.
Sure.
You've answered the question. Let me now answer this one simply. When you retweeted the white supremacist Nick Fuentes, who you call Nick, on the subject of the riots, and he said it's clear that not only are these protests being amplified and directed by Zionist plants on social media, do you agree with what he said? Is that why you retweeted it?
I agree. I agree with the latter point about how everybody's going to lose their freedoms.
What about the first point I just read out? You agree with that?
Well, I don't have to agree with every single point of a tweet. I can agree with the end result of a tweet. I don't know who's
so you don't agree with
I don't know who's directing.
So just to be clear,
well, I don't know who's directing these riots.
On social
I just know the end result.
Amplified the riots.
I don't know who's directing these riots. I know the end result. I know why the riots happened in my own personal view because of underrepresentation. I think Keir Starmer's failed.
Do you think it was Zionist plans?
Political class has sold us out, and I think that the end result is going to be bad times for everyone in the UK. But my Muslim brothers are going to suffer.
So I don't know if anyone's realizing what's happening here. If you're not paying close enough attention, Nick Fuentes, who is he's an America First dude. He streams on Rumble. I follow him on Rumble, but I don't like he goes on around the same time as me or whatever in the evening sometime. But I don't like watching his show just because it's literally just him talking just forever. And it's like it's not the most compelling shit. You know, I don't know. I just like, but it's interesting to hear some of the shit he has to say. And people really fucking hate on him and for sure misrepresent stuff that he says. Steven Crowder, I've seen Steven Crowder talk shit about Nick Fuentes and the thing. Like he was saying Nick Fuentes is anti-Semitic and he's racist. and or something like that. It was like something a Democrat would say. And Steven Crowder's like, yeah, Nick Fuentes is a piece of shit because whatever. He said this about like, it was like some clip that like I forget that. I think Nick Fuentes said that it was stupid that Trump had to denounce white supremacists, that it was cucked for him to do that. And that was his big clip that shows Nick Fuentes is a racist because he doesn't want Trump placating to these fucking extremists and the Democrats that are going to smear him regardless of what he says. Whether he says I denounce white supremacists or not, they're going to keep playing the clip where he said there's good people on both sides. So I agree with Nick. Why apologize? Why humor these fucking people when they don't give a fuck? They're just going to keep misrepresenting you. They're the enemy.
Brown people will suffer, Christian will suffer, black will suffer. It's bad times for everybody. I'm not going to say who's correct and what because I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just telling you exactly why I retweeted that tweet.
Right, so a white supremacist anti-Semite, Nick Fuentes, blames Zionist plants for amplifying and directing these riots.
And he's the Nick Fuentes tweeted something about blaming the Jews for the riots, and he retweeted it or something. Got to be careful with that, you know?
Retweet him.
Do you know who he's talking about when he says that?
Do you?
Yes.
Who?
He's talking about Tommy Robinson, who's openly Zionist. Do you believe Tommy Robinson incited these things? Because if you do, you agree with Nick Fuentes. You have just been sitting here saying Zionists have been pushing these riots this whole interview, sir. So you just fell into the exact same trap. You agree exactly with what Nick just said. So now you're going to.
This is the viral clip that's going around right here. Fucking Nick Fuentes says that the riots were started because the Jews, and fucking Tommy Robinson claims he's a Zionist. And he is blaming Tommy Robinson for the riots. So he's in a roundabout way, he's agreeing with Nick Fuentes, the guy that he said is a white supremacist, white nationalist, racist piece of shit, without providing any evidence of why he thinks that, of course.
Very interesting. And say, oh, he's a white supremacist to try and get gotcha moments when you fail with your own point of view. Tommy is a Zionist, sir. Tommy is a Zionist.
Just to be clear then, so just to be clear, when you retweeted this, you believed Nick Fuentes was talking about Tommy Robinson.
I believe he was talking about Tommy Robinson, but I only agree with the latter part of the tweet, as I said.
Right.
But you agree with the first part of the tweet.
So to be clear,
then, you're sitting there trying to use it as a gotcha.
So to be
clear, you agree with the tweet yourself.
To be clear, then you don't agree when he said the protests are being amplified and directed by Zionist plants on social media. You don't agree with that.
No, I think that people had a legitimate concern.
Thank you. That's all we need.
I think the UK is a powder keg.
I don't need another speech, Andrew. You've answered the question.
You agree with Zionists. You believe the Zionists have solved
no need for a speech.
You do.
No need for
you
a
are
speech.
an anti-Semite.
Let me read to you comments from the influential Muslim commentator who's been on Uncensored, Muhammad Hijab, who said to you this: "My brother, I've always supported you, but you're severely off the mark on the following points. Your acquiescence to far-right figures like Tommy Robinson is haram, as he is an enemy of Islam. Your lack of condemnation of far-right thugs who attacked a mosque and who attack Muslims and Islam more generally. Many far-right hooligans want no peace with us. They consider us to be an impossible subject. Our existence frustrates them. You are one of us. They will never accept you fully until you embrace their beliefs. We worship Allah alone and build our purpose on this. No one can compete with this. I urge you to endorse this message and salvage the situation." Do you endorse his message? Do you now denounce right-wing thugs who committed attacks on Muslims and on mosques in the last week? And do you therefore condemn Tommy Robinson for inciting it?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys know anyone that's watching right now, but Stein had Tommy Robinson on tonight. Stein is on from 7 to 8 Eastern time. He right when his show ends, I get on here. But yeah, he had him on tonight. I missed a lot of the show. Buzzard Bob, what's up, dude? Hey, thanks for coming. I've been good. Just got over a leg injury, got back to working out. I'm feeling good. Fuck yeah. Thanks for asking, Buzzard Bob. How's the ass eating going these days? I haven't been doing a lot of ass eating myself. I've been whatever. I've kind of been doing my own thing. Just jerking it alone at home. Is that too much for? Sorry. Anyway, thanks for thanks for thanks for checking out the video. Yeah, exactly, fat pig. Eat any good ass lately? I'm not eating ass as much these days. I need to live through you, Buzzard Bob. I need to know about your escapades. And oh, come on, Buzzard Bob, you filthy little fucker. I don't eat ass. Look, every like rumor, there's a little, a pearl of truth, I think. That goes for stereotypes too. But Buzzard Bob, I just I have a hard time not believing that you eat ass. It's just, come on, Bob. Exactly. You know what? All right, let's get back to this video. It's getting late. Thanks for real though, Buzzard Bob. I don't know if you're the real one or if you're Holyoke Joe or maybe you're Carrie Underwood and you're looking for for fucking what's his name, Hootie. But thank you for enjoying the show and stopping in the chat. I don't live that lifestyle. I'm a conservative. Why is it anti-conservative to eat ass? JD Vance fucks couches. Come on, Bob. All right, let's get back to this.
So firstly, I absolutely condemn all violence, especially against Muslims and against mosques. I know Mohammed well, and I respect him, and he is extremely versed on the Quran and Islam. He's more versed than I am. I think that by having open conversation with the people I disagree with, I did not see myself as aligning with them, but perhaps this is a perception I need to address.
Buzzard Bob, I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show, but we went over, anyone that's just getting in here now, we went over the new footage for that emerged from the Trump assassination attempt. It's a badge cam footage that just got released, and I reviewed it, went through it. So once we're off of here, you should check out the beginning of the video for real. I mean, it was the first time I watched the footage myself. It just got released today. I saw it on my phone, but I analyzed it a little closer on here and went over, there's some important things to note from this video that got released. So check it out. You're already here, so it's not like I'm trying to get an extra click. It's really I think we went over some interesting shit there. So check it out.
Of course, I think anybody who's been violent on either side is doing the wrong thing and is being disgusting. I want to make something clear. Piers, you do this very common trick of me explaining to you why I believe something is happening, and then you saying that that's my point of view. I'm not saying I agree with right-wing people who are rioting and attacking Muslims. I'm telling you why I believe they did it. I believe they did it because they didn't feel like they had political representation. That does not mean I represent them. That does not mean I advocate for them. That does not mean
that's
I
not why
agree
they did it.
I just sat here. I just sat here while you told me Nigel Farage sold me out, and I said that's fine.
Yeah.
I still agree with some things he says. I'm a very logical person. I'm not emotional about these things.
If you're logical, you'll understand. But Andrew, if you're logical, you will understand that is not why they did what they did. It's not why they rioted. They rioted in direct response to a social media-led campaign of disinformation, which told them that the person who killed these little girls was an illegal immigrant Muslim who was on an MI6 terror watch list. None of those things were true.
Piers, this is very important, sir. And I consider you in many ways a friend. This is very important. You advocated, please let me finish this, it's 30 seconds. You advocated for the vaccine and you got people killed. You are now going to be advocating for people to lose their freedom of speech online. And there's not going to be anyone's going to be allowed discourse anymore. Because you're sitting here pretending that somebody making a video being upset about little girls dying is the reason the UK was set on fire and not the failure of politicians across generations, sir. That is a fallacy.
It was
it's a fallacy, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous for you to even push this, Piers, because we're going to end up.
Dude, it's so crazy. Like, I get Piers Morgan's concern. I get it. Like, you don't want to accidentally share some stupid, post some stupid fucking tweet or whatever, something on Facebook or Instagram, wherever, and it goes viral and starts, gets a bunch of people riled up, and they go and do something stupid. You don't want that, and that's maybe possible to an extent, but Tate has a valid point here that it's difficult to imagine that you could rile up all these people with a couple tweets unless there is a foundation of anger that's beneath it, that's already fueled by problems that are they're dealing with in society. It's hard to how do you make one tweet and you start a riot and there's nothing no foundation to all of that anger, just a tweet, right? There's no history involved in that. Like, Piers Morgan's kind of and I respect Piers Morgan. He's been having some good people, good debates on, and some, he's had some crazy shit. He's probably going to have Stein on because he retweeted Stein when Stein trolled Cenk Uygur. But yeah, he's kind of being sloppy here.
No, world where no one's allowed to talk anymore, and it's going to be people like you who advocated for it. And when everyone's sitting at home without point of view, then the slavery is going to be fully implemented on the populace. And you are a bad person trying to get people's point of view taken off the internet.
No, fine. There are perfectly legitimate questions, as I've been agreeing with you about in this interview, about the levels of legal and illegal migration to the UK. They are simply unsustainable, and I will be hard on Labour until they work out a solution.
About it online.
There are also plenty of
issues.
Said
we talk about it,
no, then we are talking about it, and you have millions of
you
followers.
Just said we shouldn't be
allowed
to.
You have a platform.
Just said we
should also have a responsibility.
Online because it
you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to be accurate. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And I was 95% accurate, which is more accurate than the BBC's ever been about anything. Or you, for extension, most of the time. You've been wrong a whole bunch. Do you condemn
Oh, fuck, man. He's not wrong there. Tate ain't wrong there.
Israel? Do you remember that? October 7th, you condemn?
I did.
Condemn Israel and their genocide? Oh, it's about time. So I was right back then, and it took you 6 months to catch up. And you're going to see in 6 months.
No, you weren't right back then.
Right. If we don't,
you said,
I'm right. If
we
don't cure the disease, which is people feeling underrepresented by the political class, the symptoms, which is violence, are going to continue to prop up all around the country.
Fine, but what you don't seem to want to accept,
sir.
Fine. What you don't seem
to want to
accept
is that what you were saying is that the politicians are
question to you.
and they've done nothing wrong, and the people have no good point of view, and that we should shut everyone up online and not let anyone talk.
Complete nonsense.
You're advocating for slavery for the population. That's what you're advocating for.
Let me speak. Nobody is shut up online. Elon Musk has made it much easier for everyone to be online and have their say. You do it all day long. You spew a lot of untruths. And I'm simply asking you, when you're wrong and what you say helps influence minds to go and commit riots, as it did, because you and Tommy Robinson, between you and others who were amplifying and spreading this bullshit about who this person was, ended up with rioting against Muslims who had nothing to do with the killing of those girls. And you, as a Muslim of all people, should have been the first to announce it.
Pierce. The logic failed. You're a smart man. But are you trying to say that if you say anything online, you are now responsible for all the consequences of that action? So if Cardi B sings about how she can drug men and lie that they raped her, if a girl then lies about being raped and ruins that man's life, Cardi B is responsible? Is that what you're saying? That is that's such a logic fail. It doesn't even make sense.
I'm not saying that.
There's a lot of people who say a lot of things online. There's a lot of people who advocate for insane things online all of the time.
Fine, stop shouting.
I'm not telling you to be able to talk.
I believe you've accepted in this interview that you spread disinformation about the person who perpetrated these crimes being an illegal immigrant to the UK. Would you like to apologize for spreading that wrong information?
If the whole video was expressing my distaste, dissatisfaction, and disgust at the events that took place, I believe that I was 95% accurate and got a detail wrong. I didn't get anything important wrong. A 17-year-old man stabbed little girls in a Taylor Swift concert, and that shouldn't ever happen. That shouldn't ever happen.
Believed it was an illegal migrant.
That should never happen anywhere. So for you to sit and say, oh, well, us as a legacy media who never get anything wrong ever.
Andrew Tate got all these people so wound up that they went to, the asylum seeker hotel, right? There's nothing else that's been going on in the UK that would make these people want to do that after they've just had the last straw with this stabbing of a little girl. No, it's Andrew Tate's fault.
Expect 100% accuracy when all you do is lie. I made it very clear that it is unacceptable that little girls die on the streets, and that people need to make it clear that we are not going to accept this anymore.
You also spread lies about who did it.
You spread plenty of lies, sir,
and the lies have caused the riots.
For you to sit and say that my video is the only reason there was riots is disingenuous.
I didn't say that. I said you are
Tommy Robinson,
and others spreading complete bullshit.
Everybody's ability to express. You're going to take away everybody's ability to express their opinion. And let me tell you something. People who don't feel politically represented at least feel like they have freedom of speech online. If you take that away as well, things are going to get a lot worse. It's going to be worse for the country. Pierce, you have to be careful sitting here on your show telling people that unless they said what you want them to say, they're not allowed to be on the internet. You are talking Stalinist.
When did I say that?
Communist. It's dangerous.
When did I say that?
That's exactly what
you said. When did I say that?
You said that anyone who says anything online is causing the riots.
He didn't say they couldn't say this. He's just implying that if they do say this, they should be held responsible for the mayhem that ensues. That if they can tie it to some fucking tweet, regardless of how shitty the government is towards its own people, or the mixing of cultures that just are like oil and fucking vinegar.
Directly, and they're directly responsible, and there's no powder keg in the UK due to a failure of the policing and the judiciary and the politicians, and you're sitting here, and I'm telling you, Pierce, the things you're advocating for are going to cause more death and destruction than that vaccine you push, or that country you support as they bomb little children. Pierce, be very careful what you say.
Don't let them get away with it. Yeah, did you push those things? Did you push those? Huh? You're a bad little pusher, aren't you, Piers? Bad boy, telling people what drugs to take. What do you know? Are you a doctor, Piers? Huh? Did you tweet about it? Are you a doctor?
Yeah, listen, I'll take your lectures morning, noon, and night. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. But would you like to take this opportunity finally to tell the rioters to stop rioting? Yes or no?
Absolutely. Well, considering I've been saying that for the last 4 days on Twitter and you didn't read any of the tweets out, they should be in front of you. There's at least 30. Let me make it clear to the people on both sides of the equation, all of my brothers in Islam and all of the Christians and native people of the UK who feel like they're underrepresented. You have more in common with the people you live amongst than you do with these political elites. The people you live amongst love their children and are struggling to pay the bills exactly like you are. There's no reason for UK, one of the greatest countries in the world, one of the largest empires in history, to be plunged into poverty if it wasn't being looted by a political class that do not care about you. And the people who do not care about you, the number one thing they want is the different breeds or different types or different categories of poor people to fight so nobody looks up and sees who the real enemy is. Britain can be a rich country, and it can be prosperous, and it can be safe, and it can be regulated, and the police can respond, and it can be as beautiful as a lot as the first world Islamic nations are. There's no reason why it has to be the way it is unless a political class was failing the people who they're supposed to represent for generations. And that's where this anger and hatred comes from. Not because a video was made on Twitter. That's so infantile and asinine to believe that some little video on Twitter started all of these things.
Here's what a little video.
Let him cook.
Stop rioting amongst each other and realize who the real enemy of your freedom is. When you understand the truth about this world, listen, I was born on a Luton council estate, and now I have hundreds of millions of dollars. And let me promise you, it's never poor versus poor. It's rich versus poor. When a black billionaire and a white billionaire meet, there is no racism because they are billionaires. Racism is what they use to divide the poor people to stop us realizing that they lie about every single thing on the news, that they inflate the currency constantly, they send our money away to wars we're not interested in. Nobody can afford their bills. Nobody can afford healthcare, and you're going to die alone in some nursing home because you can't afford a nice house, because even then they're going to inheritance tax it. They don't want you realizing the truth, and that's why.
But you know what, Andrew? You know, Andrew, I agree about the political class is failing people in Britain, as they have in many other countries. I agree with it completely. We need better politicians with better solutions to big problems facing our country. But you're big on truth, and you abhor lies, and you hold them to account because they lie and don't tell the truth. Correct. And yet these riots, you claim, were just organic reaction to the problems of the country. No, they weren't. These riots happened because far-right thugs acted on false information that the perpetrator of these wicked crimes against these 3 little girls that were killed and many others that were seriously wounded was an illegal Muslim who come into the country, was on MI6 terror watch list. That is why these riots happened.
This is a similar argument to you know, if you look at the insurrection thing, and if any of y'all or anyone watching is familiar with Destiny and his arguments around the insurrection and stuff, where, you know, they're blaming Trump. I kind of I really have to iron out my thoughts on the insurrection before I would debate anybody on it. But I'm sort of in this headspace now where I think there was an insurrection, but it wasn't Trump's insurrection. He didn't, you know, there's no evidence that he directly told or indirectly told anyone to break into the Capitol building and try to overthrow the fucking government with a violent force. But there were groups, and possibly, we don't even have to mention FBI or agents, government agents that were in the crowd. You can leave those out if y'all want to, you know, if I debate a Democrat about this and they're like, oh, that's conspiracy. We don't even have to consider FBI agents or anybody in the crowd. Just think about the groups, the Patriot Front and the, you know, whatever those groups, Proud Boys, and the different people that were, you know, organized and being more violent or whatever. I mean, there's people that were there probably to LARP like they're doing an insurrection, and that's enough for me to say, okay, you guys wanted to pretend you're doing an insurrection and act it out at the Capitol, then, you know, you're fucking insurrectionists. But Trump didn't directly tell anyone to do that. They say, oh, well, but Trump spent the whole speech saying that the election was stolen and they're destroying the country by taking, you know, they stole the election, so your vote isn't counting, and this and that. And it's like, that's not, and Trump saying that is not enough to inspire a whole fucking, however, 100, 1,000 people, I don't know how many people was in the fucking crowd, to go break into the Capitol. These people were watching this shit themselves on Facebook and Twitter, sharing the videos of the windows being boarded up when people are trying to look in. And the people that were scanning the mail-in ballots that were saying, hey, why are these coming in late? And there's no dates on them that they were supposed to be in at a certain date. And also, the ballots are in sequential order. How is it possible that they're mailed out in sequential order, and when we get them back, they're in the same order? It's not even possible. So we're all watching this shit, and then they go down to the Capitol. People are already fired up. So again, it's this similar situation here. He's arguing, oh no, you guys, you aren't enough. You're one tweet, Tate, but you know, there's like 4 or 5 of you guys that are tweeting really nasty stuff. So that got everyone so pissed that they, you know, rioted.
And that was all a despicable lie designed to make people have completely the wrong idea. And hang on, as a result of those lies,
fucking Brit,
mosques, Muslim mosques, mosques belonging to your religion that you've converted to were
They
then
were answered
attacked.
to God. They
As
were
were
answered to God.
asylum
They
seeker
were answered to
hotels
God.
because people believed it was an illegal migrant when it wasn't. It was all lies. And you, as the great espouser of truth who hates lying, should be the first to say that anyone that spread any of those false rumors about him being a Muslim, about him being an illegal immigrant, about him being on the MI6 terror watch list, you should condemn unreservedly anyone who spread any of those false rumors, because they're the things that inspired these riots. Bottom line, end.
Yeah, actually, there's a good point here. There's a good point here, Piers. It's actually a very good point you make. And I actually want to speak to all the non-Muslims who are watching this and understand that if you read your history and you understand how the political class have lied to us to get us into all of these forever wars, they've tried very hard to make you believe that Muslims are your enemy. And there's been a large propaganda campaign by the Western media machine to make sure you feel that way. I assure you that 99.9% of Muslims think just like you, feel just like you, and they're good people. And I don't want anyone to instantly assume that Muslims have committed a violent crime because a violent crime has happened. That's
Do you agree with what I just said?
happens, and I believe a lot of that happens. Yeah, I agree that, of course, I'd love to live in a world of absolute truth. Then people like you wouldn't have a job and the BBC would be closed down. And then you, Edwards, wouldn't be able to sit up there and say that I'm a human trafficker when he gets caught being a pedophile himself. Sir, my hard drives are clean. I've been searched by 4 federal agencies. I'm doing my absolute best. My hard drives are clean. I'm not a criminal. I'm not the reason why the riot started. I'm a person who is very upset, who has four-year-old daughters himself, disgusted by what he heard, believes that that is unacceptable in any civilized civilization, and we should do anything it takes to prevent it from happening again. Perhaps I was wrong about the fact he was an illegal migrant. He was only a migrant. Perhaps I was wrong about that detail. However, I was right about most of the things I said. People's concerns are what led them to the streets, not my video on Twitter. And you telling people that they shouldn't be allowed to have an opinion online unless it's 100% factual is extremely dangerous, because they're going to come along, decide what the facts are. They're going to lie like they did with the COVID vaccine. They're going to decide the facts. They're going to shut everyone up who disagrees. There's going to be no dissidents. We're going to live in the absolute matrix. There's going to be slave minds everywhere who's not allowed to talk. And we're already getting there in the West as it is. So you need to be very careful the ideas you push, sir. Very careful. I think.
Well, you know what? Here's the idea I push.
Truthfully.
Here's the idea I push. I allow everybody onto Uncensored to have their views uncensored, as you've just done for the last hour. It will go up on YouTube, not the legacy media, but YouTube, uncensored. Every word that we have just exchanged will go up. So you can relax.
Well, we already saw that there was a cut, there was an edit back here somewhere. So all of it didn't go up. I don't know what the fuck happened there. But let me just show you a couple things. And this is what I'm talking about with him doing this symbology. I don't know why this guy has to God damn it, what did I do? Okay, I found it. Yeah, bro, when he's getting arrested, he's he's forcing his hands into uncomfortable positions to do this fucking pyramid symbol. It's like, what are you're hinting at something here, sir. And I think I know what it is. Top G here. Look at this. It's not like his own hands are handcuffed together, so he's pulling his brother's hand. They both can't do the pyramid. They're handcuffed together. So he's like, I'm going to do the pyramid. And his brother's just like, like, this is awkwardly forcing symbology here. Am I wrong? Are you guys seeing this? He does this shit all the time, doing the fucking pyramid. Let's look at this other one. Hold on. Because there's like fucking 10 of these. Bro, he just, every chance he gets, he's got the pyramid up. And he calls himself Top G. Hold on a second. He calls himself Top G, guys. Top. You get my drift here? Can I pull up this other? Let's I got the symbology in case I need to remind you guys. Top G right here, you guys. He's the top G, and he's constantly holding up a pyramid. He's constantly going like this, saying, "I'm the top G." Is everybody following along here? And he's telling you to get out of the matrix by buying expensive cars and yachts and smoking cigars. That's how you get out of the matrix, guys. If you're a top G, you get your car, you get your yacht, you smoke cigars, you are Neo now. Does everybody believe that? Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of fun being a top G. All right, well, we're going to get the fuck out of here. It's late as fuck. I knew I was going to go a little late, and I was going to pick there was a different debate that I was floating. We'll get to it next week. It'll be good, I promise. But But yeah, it's a little bit longer, and I picked this shorter one, and I made the thumbnail and everything, and then I was like, fuck, man, should I have done the other one? Because I could go a little later tonight. But yeah, we fucking went late. But yeah, guys, tomorrow night, try to keep this in mind. Not that, whatever. I'm a growing channel here. I'd like to have viewers, but my show's going to be a different time tomorrow, okay? If anybody cares. I should be going on like 6:30 earliest, maybe 7 o'clock is what I'm aiming for latest. Because Bubba 199 is on tomorrow. You see the flag? Bubba 199 on tomorrow, 8 o'clock. So I'm not going to be on at 8 o'clock. I'll probably be watching at least part of it. I do have plans tomorrow night, but I'll be watching some of it. But yeah, so we are going to do like a pre-Bubba 199, just like hang out. I think I'm going to go over some Alex Stein stuff just for fun. Some recent stuff has been really good with Stein. He has been actually absolutely killing it. So that might be some of what we get into tomorrow. I might have possibly a playlist of my own royalty-free tracks that I've made, like for the podcast and stuff, and like what you're hearing now and some other ones. And I might play a few of those for you guys and whatever. But yeah, we'll see what goes. It's just gonna be a chill show tomorrow night. It's really a pre-party for 199. So tomorrow, 7 p.m. I'll be here an hour early. So yeah, come fucking chill tomorrow night. I love you guys. Thanks again for hanging out, checking out the show, and supporting me. I really appreciate like the retweets and everything. If you see me post a link, I'm fighting the fucking algorithms here, so help me out. The boys out here I'm grinding, putting in the work. So just help me out with this shit. But yeah, for real, I love you guys. Buzzard Bob, I don't know if that's really you or if that's Carrie Underwood or Hootie. Fat Pig, Thuggish, thank you guys for hanging in the chat the whole fucking time. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Love ya.